A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. In the past 5 weeks, an unidentified holdup man has robbed 12 drugstores. He's taken money and narcotics. There's no lead to who he is or where he is. Your job, find him.
It was Tuesday, March 16th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief Detective Thad Brown. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 9:36 a.m. when we got to the corner of Hobart Boulevard and Westmoreland. Petitioner Drugstore.
In the back.
Yeah.
Something you want?
Yes, sir. We'd like to see Harry Tishner.
Yeah, I'm him.
Police officers. This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Hello. How you doing, sir?
About the robbery, huh?
Would you like to tell us what happened?
I was robbed.
We'd just like you to tell us how.
Oh, now I'm with you. Yes, I'm right with you. Let's go back and sit down. Get to telling the story, and time just melts away.
Yes, sir.
Might as well be comfortable while we all fall out.
Yes, sir. This all right here?
Yeah. Like a phosphate or something?
No, sir.
No, thanks, sir.
Okay. And let's quit all this fooling around and get down to business. Want me to tell you about the holdup?
Yes, sir. We'd like that.
Good. That's just what I'm going to do.
Go ahead.
Aren't you going to take anything down, right?
Well, yes, sir, as soon as you tell us the story now, if you'd like to start in.
Well, came in about 8.
That was this morning?
Yes. Just walked right in the door, came back to the prescription counter, and stood there.
Mm-hmm.
Had this little piece of paper in his hand. I figured it was from a doctor, prescribed medicine.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't.
Well, go ahead. What was it?
Note. Written on there like this. This is a stick-up. Don't make any noise.
It was a note, huh?
Just pushed the note across the counter. I didn't have to have anybody push me off a cliff to know what was going on.
No, sir.
I was being robbed.
Yes, sir. You want to go ahead?
Well, after he showed me the note, he kind of pushed me back into the little room at the rear of the store. Kind of store place.
Now, did he say anything to you at all?
Not a word, just pointed with that gun for me to get into the back room. I went.
I see. What happened then?
He pushed me down to the floor and then tied my hands and feet.
What do you use?
You mean to tie me up?
Yes, sir.
Rope.
Oh.
Well, did he bring it into the store with him?
No, sir. He picked it up in household on his way back to the prescription counter.
I see. Go ahead, please.
As soon as we got to the storeroom, he took off the label and then undid the rope. He made a loop and put it around my feet. Next thing I knew, I was all trussed up like a rolled roast, ready for the oven.
Yes, sir.
I'll say one thing for the guy, though.
What's that?
He's very neat. Tied good knots.
Yes, sir.
Other officers, the ones in the black and white car,
Yes, sir.
Them.
Yeah, what about him?
Oh, yeah. Well, they took the ropes with them. They said something about taking them to a laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
Why, you can see if you want to. It's very neat.
Yes, sir. What happened after the bandit tied you up?
Robbed me.
You personally?
Yes, personally and otherwise.
So, sir, would you please tell us?
Well, first off, he went to the safe and took the tin box out. Opened her right up and took the money.
Is that all he stole from the cash box?
Yeah. I had some government bonds in there, but he didn't take those.
Uh-huh.
Guess he knew they wouldn't do him any good.
All right, sir.
He didn't take them. Took the money, but didn't take the government bonds.
According to what you told the officers this morning, the thief took a supply of narcotics, too. Is that correct?
Yes, he got them from the safe, too.
Well, now, after he finished with the safe, what happened?
He left. He walked out of the place. He just ambled right out.
During the time he was in the store, he didn't say anything at all. Is that right?
Did anybody else come in while he was here?
You mean like a customer?
Yes, sir.
No. Oh, excuse me.
That might be our office, Mr. Tishner. We left this number.
Okay. If it is, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
Additional drugs. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, Mrs. Kentworthy. Uh-huh. No, shouldn't be. Uh-huh. No, I can't do that. If you have your doctor call me, I'll make it up and send it over. Yeah. No, not without a prescription. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I'll call you when it's ready then, and you can send Lanny over. Right. Bye, Mrs. Kentworthy. Huh? Oh, well, if that's the way you feel, I won't. Oh, sure. Okay. Goodbye. Yeah, I can't imagine why she'd say a thing like that. Just no reason at all.
Sir?
Mrs. Kentworthy told me when her son comes over to get the prescription not to give him any candy.
Oh, I see.
I usually throw in a licorice whip, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want me to do it. That's too bad.
Yes, sir. Wonder if we could go ahead with the description.
Sure, I guess so.
Well, now, from what you told the investigating officers, the man's about 35 to 38. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Light in color, 5 feet 10, 175 pounds, no visible marks or scars. Is that right?
Well, I guess that's pretty close.
Well, if there's anything different, we'd appreciate you telling us now.
No, not with you. Because I can't understand why Mrs. Kentworthy say a thing like that. Just a penny licorice whip. Little bitty thing.
Yes, sir, we understand.
Like that. Couldn't hurt anybody.
Yes, sir. Would you be able to identify the hold-up man if you saw him again?
Oh, yeah, no trouble. I'd know it.
Uh-huh.
He'd never say a thing like that.
Sir?
The fellow who robbed me.
What do you mean?
Oh, on the way out, the way I was laying, I saw him stop. Right up there with the Canyon magazine. Stopped dead in his tracks. He went over and helped himself.
Mm-hmm.
Took the top off and helped himself to a handful. Sure must like 'em.
What was that, sir?
Licorice whips. Just reached into the jar and took a handful.
After that, he left. Is that right?
Yeah. As soon as he put his gloves back on.
What was that?
Couldn't work the top of the jar with the gloves, so he took them off.
No.
Used his bare hands.
10:02 a.m. Frank put in a call to Harlan Stahl and Leighton Fingerprints. We asked him to come out and go over the glass candy jar. While we waited for him, Frank and I checked the list of stolen narcotics with the druggist, Harry Tishner. We also made arrangements for him to come downtown and look through the mug books. When the glass candy jar was checked, Harlan Stahl was able to come up with 2 partial prints. They were enough for comparison, but not for identification. 11:15 a.m. Frank and I left the store and spent the rest of the afternoon checking out the list of names we'd gotten from the stats office. Several of the possibles looked good, but after each one of them was investigated, we still didn't have a suspect in custody. Wednesday morning, March 17th, at 8:06 a.m., Frank and I met in the squad room.
Morning, Joe.
Hi.
Tried to call you this morning. Thought maybe you'd want to stop and have some breakfast.
No, I left the house early.
Uh-huh.
Did you check the book?
Yeah.
Anything?
Skipper wants to talk to us.
Oh, I figured that had happened. Is he in now?
Yeah.
Well, come on, let's get it over with.
Come in. Yeah, that's right. No, not yet. I'm going to try and line it up this afternoon. Yeah, I'll call you back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're here right now. Bye.
You want to see us, Captain?
Yeah, come in, sit down. Going in, I won't tell you who's on my back about this thing, and you don't give me any excuses, right?
Sure.
Where are you?
Still in front of the first store.
That's how long ago?
It's been 5 weeks.
What do you know about him?
WMA, description, closed.
Match on all the jobs?
Close enough so we know it's the same guy.
Okay, what else?
He uses a stolen car to get to the store. He drives it away. Isn't too careful to hide the license plate. We've been able to come up with 3 out of the 5.
Check the cars out?
Yeah, clean. Not a print on them. Nothing else.
Picked up something yesterday. Should help when we nail him.
What's that?
Well, Stahl listed a couple of partials from a candy jar. That'll be enough for comparison.
Can't make the suspect on him, huh?
No, it's not enough to classify.
What about the narcotics he's taking? You show up anyplace?
No, not that we can find. We've been down all the alleys. There's nothing there. We talked to Lucarelli. Hop squad's got nothing on it.
If none of it's showing up, then it could mean he's using the stuff himself.
That's what we got figured.
How about the stats office?
They spend much more time down there. They're going to put us to work with the machines.
Informants?
Well, they've given us smiles. That's about all.
You think they're holy?
No.
Come over here. Take a look at the map. The way he's picking the places, he's set up a pretty definite operating schedule. Here, Venice Boulevard, Kingsley Drive, Western, Adams, Washington, the rest of them. They're all grouped in this area.
Yeah.
You got to figure he's going to keep working the vicinity until he hits them all. Then maybe he'll move on to something else.
It might help if we could come up with a reason that he's working there.
Anything you can come up with has got to help.
Yeah, we know.
If it's true that he's been using the narcotics himself, it's just a matter of time before we hand this one over to homicide. He's going to walk into a store, somebody's going to give him trouble. If he's on the needle, he isn't going to take it.
Yeah.
So it adds up to a big stop. The past.
Well, if we work the area, it's going to take a lot of men, you know.
We'll get him. I've talked to Stoner. He's taking care of all the help you need from here. There'll be 4 teams available. You can call Metro Division for whatever else you need.
All right, we'll set it up for tonight, then.
Check with communications. Make sure you got the 3-ways working.
Right.
This guy's been pressing his luck for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm bound to run short on it sometime. Robbery, Donahoe. Yeah. When? Okay, we'll take care of him. Looks like you just got partners.
What do you mean?
Your boy just made it 13. Drugstore out on Pico.
Yeah.
They don't expect the victim to live.
Frank and I left the office and drove over to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. We talked with the officer on duty. He told us that the victim's name was George Rayler. He owned a small neighborhood drugstore at the corner of Pico Boulevard and Vineyard Avenue. He went on to say that he didn't have all of the particulars of the beating, but that it had occurred during the commission of a robbery. We talked to Dr. Sebastian. He told us that the elderly man was suffering from a fractured skull, broken ribs, and possible internal injuries. He added that from Rayler's appearance, it looked as if he'd been beaten about the head and shoulders with a heavy instrument and then kicked in the chest. We left word to call as soon as he could be questioned, then we drove over to the store on Pico.
Yes, there's something I can do for you?
Police officers.
Oh, how's Mr. Rayler? You seen him?
No, we haven't, Judge.
You heard anything? Is he going to be all right?
Well, we don't know that yet.
I sure hope so. Yeah, the guy who hit him sure did a job. Just beat him something awful.
Yeah, we know.
Not enough just hitting him, but then he knocked him down and stomped him. Awful.
You hear when it happened?
Yeah, I saw the whole thing.
You want to tell us what happened?
You mean for the investigation?
That's right.
Okay.
You want to give us your name first?
Calvin Webster.
You work here in the store, do you, son?
Yeah, that's right. Sort of a general left hand.
What was it?
Well, you see, Mrs. Rayler's his right hand. I'm the left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She wasn't here today, and down having her hair fixed. Probably just as good.
All right, Webster. You want to tell us?
Well, fellow came in about 8:30, right after we opened. He came in and went back to the prescription counter. I was going back to tell him that Mr. Rayler would be right out, and then he was.
Rayler?
Yeah, he was back checking the stock on vitamin pills. We do a big business in them. I have to have a pretty careful watch on the supply. Wouldn't want to get caught short.
All right, go ahead.
Well, the fellow, the hold-up man, you know.
Yeah, go ahead.
We took this little piece of paper out of his coat. I figured it was a prescription. Looked like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't. It turned out to be the note where he said he wanted the money.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the note?
Well, not so as I can read it. First I knew there was something wrong when Mr. Rayler started to yell at the guy. Told him to get out of the store, ran around the counter and tried to grab him.
Mm-hmm.
Yelling all the time for me to call the police. Call the cops. Call the cops, like that he yelled at me.
What'd you do?
Well, I looked to see if I had a dime.
What?
Well, you see, in the past, Mr. Rayler's had trouble with people making phone calls on a private phone, so he had one of those little lock things put on it. You can answer incoming calls, but you can't phone out.
I see.
So I needed a dime to call the cops.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have one. Only 75 cents for my lunch, a half and a quarter.
I see.
Well, all this time, Mr. Rayler's yelling. He's yelling, and the robber's hitting him. I didn't know what to do.
Uh-huh.
I thought about running back and trying to help, but Mr. Rayler don't like for nobody to do something different than what he says.
Yeah.
He told me to phone.
Yeah, sure.
Well, then all of a sudden, bang, the fella hit Mr. Rayler with a gun. Took it right out of his pocket and hit him on the head. Next thing, Mr. Rayler's on the floor, and this fella's stomping him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I couldn't just stand by no more, so I went back to help. Too late.
What was that?
Well, it was too late. Mr. Rayler was on the floor, and this guy was pointing the gun at me and was leaving the store. I didn't see how it would help any to try and stop him.
Mm-hmm. Was there anybody else in the store at the time?
No, just Mr. Rayler and me. We just opened up. Still kind of getting ready for the day.
Did you get a good look at this guy?
Oh, yeah. I saw him good.
All right, then you'll be able to give us a description.
Yeah, I'll tell you how he looked.
Did you see if he drove the car?
I guess so.
But don't you know for sure?
Well, no, I didn't go out after him. I figured that it'd take somebody a lot bigger than me to stop him. Besides, I had to take care of Mr. Rayler.
I see. Did you see the gun he was using?
Yeah, I got a real good look at it when he was hitting the boss.
That's fine. What kind of a gun was it?
A pistol, you know, like you see in the movies.
Now, look, son, was it a revolver or an automatic?
I think it was a revolver. Had a barrel on it. Short. About that long?
Uh-huh.
We'd like you to come downtown and look at some pictures, if you would.
At the city hall?
That's right.
I'll be glad to help out as soon as Mrs. Rayler comes back. I'll go with you.
All right, fine.
I can't leave the store alone, you know.
Uh-huh. You want to give us the description of the man now?
You bet. Sure hope you catch the fella.
So do we.
This the same guy I've been reading about in the papers?
That's right.
He's mean. Real mean, doing a thing like that to Mr. Rayler.
Yeah, we know.
Been getting away with it for a long time, hasn't he? Like a guy running up a big bill.
That's right, and he'll pay it. As soon as someone arrived to take care of the drugstore, we took Calvin Webster down to the city hall. He was shown all of the mug books and pictures of recent parolees. He was unable to make an identification. We had him returned to his home, and then Frank and I checked with Dr. Sebastian over at Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. He told us that the latest victim had been transferred to the county hospital and was out of the critical stage. He went on to say, however, that it would be several hours before we'd be able to talk to him. We checked with Captain Donahoe and Lieutenant Stoner. We also contacted officers from Metropolitan Division and made arrangements for the additional cars that we need in setting up the rolling stakeout. That night at 7:30 p.m., the plan was put into operation. 10 undercover cars maintained a watch on the drugstores in the area. All suspicious vehicles were checked on. All pedestrians loitering in the vicinity were interrogated. Our suspect remained free. 3 days went by without result. The bandit had stopped his operations. On Sunday, March 21st, Frank and I were driving up Western Avenue just north of Pico.
What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe after he had that trouble with Rayler, he decided to call it quits.
Doesn't figure.
Huh?
Guy that's had the breaks he has not going to let something like a beating stop him.
Well, hope you're right.
All units on frequency 1, stand by. All units on frequency 1, stand by.
It might be a good one.
Yeah.
Stand by 1J14. All units in the vicinity of 1947 Wilson Place. 1947 Wilson Place. An officer needs help, code 3. All units in the vicinity of 1947 Wilson Place. An officer needs help, code 3.
You got the lens?
Yeah, here you are.
Think it might be our boy?
We'll know in a minute. An officer needs help. Of all the calls in the book, this is the one that no officer wants to get. Not because of an outdone sense of loyalty to a fellow police officer, but because it means that somebody has decided that lawful authority has no meaning for them. Such a person is an extreme menace to every citizen in the city. By showing that they have no respect for the competence of an armed professional officer, they have also shown that they will not consider for an instant the life of an unarmed citizen. By the time we arrived at the scene, there were 14 police units in attendance. From one of the officers, we got the story.
Unit was working the street, saw this young guy run out of the liquor store, stopped to see what was going on.
Yeah?
Told the fellow to stop. Didn't make any difference.
Kept going, huh?
Yeah. Officer in the car told him to stop or he'd shoot, and the suspect turned around and fired at the policeman.
How is he?
Flesh wound.
What about the suspect?
Well, he didn't get the chance to fire more than twice.
That him over there?
Yeah.
Anything from the owner of the liquor store?
Well, just that the suspect tried to hold him up. He walked in, showed him a note. The owner went along with it. Handed over the money, and then the suspect left. That's it.
Better take a look.
Yeah.
Well, it might be a break.
It's a hard way to get it, isn't
Yeah.
it? I'll take a look.
How about it?
I can't tell for sure.
Huh?
Description doesn't match too good.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's our suspect.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
The wounded police officer was taken to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital for treatment. The suspect was removed to the county morgue. Pictures were taken, and when they were shown to the victims of the drugstore bandit, they all said he was not the man we were after. The rolling stakeout continued without result. During the next week, we answered several 211 calls in drugstores, but the M.O. the thief used eliminated him as our suspect. Thursday, March 25th, Frank and I checked into the squad room.
How's it going, Joe?
We're kind of tired.
Yeah. We'll get this one wrapped up, and I'm going to try to take a few days off.
Okay. Robbery Friday. Yes, that's right. No, we're handling. Well, when was that? All right, would you like to give me that address? All right, yes, I have it. We'll check it out. Might be something in it. Thanks for letting us know. Right. What was that? No, if it turns out, we'll let you know. Right. Thanks again. Bye.
What do you got?
Call from a radio unit out in Hollywood.
Yeah.
They answered to 415 this morning. The woman and her husband were having a brawl.
Uh-huh.
The man had left when the officers got there. The woman refused to make a complaint.
She placed the original call?
No, it came from one of the neighbors.
Uh-huh.
When the officers were leaving, the woman said she'd handle the beef herself, said she'd take care of her husband, called him a lousy hold-up man.
Yeah.
She made the statement she could put him in San Quentin inside of 5 minutes.
Well, if he's the guy we're looking for, I don't think we can do it that fast.
No, we can sure try. We left the office and drove out to the address I'd gotten on the phone. It was a small one-story house set well back on the lot. When we got there, the lights were on. Frank and I went up to the front door and rang the bell.
Yeah,
Miss Kearney?
that's right.
Police officers like to talk to you.
What about?
Might be better if we talked inside.
All right.
It's my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
How you do?
Right.
You alone here in the house?
Just the baby and me.
I see. Where's your husband?
Look, before I start telling you a lot, why don't you let me know what this is all about?
We got a report from a radio car that there was a disturbance here this morning. Is that right?
Wasn't anything. Me and Keith had a beef. Not even worth calling the cops about.
The officer said you made the remark that your husband was a hold-up man, that you could send him to prison. Is that right?
They talk a lot, don't they?
They listen more, lady.
You want to tell us what you meant?
Yeah?
Well, go ahead.
You go back and tell the little boys in the play suits they're wrong on this one.
Is that so?
Yeah, because I meant nothing. Nothing at all.
Pretty serious thing to say without a reason, though, isn't it?
This morning I had a reason.
Might you want to tell us what it was?
I don't see why not. You cops start nosing around, you'll find out anyway. I got trouble with my old man.
What kind of trouble?
He's out with other women. Didn't come home last night. We had a beef about it. The cops were called and they used their big ears. You guys made the trip out here for nothing. Now beat it. Now look what you've done. He's playing fine, and you come in here and raise a big stink. You got him all upset.
I'll get it. Hey, here you are, fella.
Hey, no reason to cry.
What's your husband's full name?
Keith J. Kearney.
How long you lived in Los Angeles?
A little over 6 weeks.
Where you from?
Idaho.
Your husband ever been in trouble with the police before?
Keith's got a hard time not being in trouble with anybody.
Has he ever been arrested?
I don't know.
How long you been married?
7 years.
And you don't know if he's ever been arrested?
No, I don't.
You got a picture of your husband?
You mean that you can have?
We'd like to take a look at it, yeah.
Oh, out of luck, I haven't got one.
Does he work?
Not if you can help it.
Doesn't hold a job of any kind, huh?
No, Keith's a professional avoider. He doesn't like anything steady. Beginning to look like he means me, too.
What's he do with his time?
Nothing. Just lives it.
Is he here in the evening?
If he was, there wouldn't have been the beef this morning, and you wouldn't be asking a lot of questions. I don't know what you're trying to get me to say, but I can't go along with you. You got a problem with Keith, then talk to him. Leave me out of it.
I'll get it.
You know where your husband is now?
No.
You don't have any idea?
Not
huh?
the least.
There you are, little fella. Here's your keys.
Your husband drive a car?
Yeah.
What kind is it?
41 Plymouth.
When do you expect your husband back?
When he walks in the door.
All right, Miss Kearney, I think that'll do it. Sorry if we've caused you any trouble.
You have and you're not.
All right, let's go, Frank. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Better check on the husband, huh?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Get a good look at those keys that the baby was playing with.
No, why?
Plastic tag on them had a license number.
Yeah.
One of the stolen cars used in the drugstore holdup. Frank and I went back to the car and drove around the block, parking up the street from the Kearney residence. We called the name of the man and his wife into R&I, but there was no record on either one of them. Because of the remark made by his wife and the finding of the car keys, it was decided to stake out on the house and wait for the husband to return. 7:30 p.m., 8:30, 9 p.m. The lights in the house went out, but there was still no sign of Keith Kearney. 10:30. We called the office and told them we'd wait it out. 10:45 p.m.
Joe.
Yeah.
You see what kind it is?
Looks like a Plymouth. Yeah.
Checks out, huh?
Yeah, let's take him.
All right, Kearney, hold it up. Watch it, Joe. Give it up, Kearney.
Keep away from me, Cap.
He's trying to make his house.
Yeah.
Kearney, you're not going to make the front porch. Don't give your family any more trouble than they got. Now throw down that gun.
All right, let's give it back to him.
He's down, Joe.
Come on.
Kearney. Kearney.
Careful.
Come on, Kearney, throw that gun away. You hear me?
Looks like he's hurt bad.
All right, hold it.
Yeah. How about it?
He'll live. Call an ambulance.
Right.
You killed him? Did you kill him?
No, ma'am.
He's dead. You killed him.
He'll be all right.
Don't lie to me. Poor kid. You didn't give him a chance. Not fair. He didn't even have a chance.
You saw it all, lady.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a fair fight.
Never is when you pull a gun.
Keith Jarris Kearney was tried and convicted on 9 counts of robbery in the first degree and received sentence as prescribed by law. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 5 years.
Dragnet is a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
My name's Regan. I work for Anthony J. Lyon, International Detective Bureau. They call me the Lion's Eye.
Jeff Regan, Investigator, starring Frank Graham as Regan with Frank Nelson as Anthony J. Lyon. So stand by for mystery, suspense, and adventure in tonight's story of The Two Little Sisters.
When a 6-foot, 200-pound guy turns up with a knife in his back, maybe a short 100 pounds of cool green-eyed blonde did it. And maybe she didn't. Well, this time there were 2 blondes, sisters. They looked alike, but they were about as much alike as a sheepdog and a cobra. Goes to show you can't tell by the package. Their names were Zemansky, Mary and Dolly Zemansky. They worked for the Everybody's Happy Pastime Carnival shows. It was old E. Happy Pastime himself who was sitting in the Lion's office when I got there about noon.
Jeffrey, my boy, glad you've come in. I'd like you to meet our new client, proprietor of the Everybody's Happy Pastime Carnival shows. No doubt you've heard of them, Jeffrey?
Sure. How are you?
Laryngitis? Yeah, our friend here is troubled with laryngitis, Jeffrey. Purely psychological. A result of worry, profound worry. Isn't that right, sir? Yes. Yes. Well, Jeffrey...
What do we do?
Now, Jeffrey, I'm glad you asked that question. To tell the truth, I envy you. Fine opportunity for you to get out of the city while I sit here sweltering in this heat. You, Jeffrey...
Get to the point.
Well, yes. Well, Jeffrey, the fact is our friend here leaves on the 2 o'clock plane for Phoenix, Arizona. Advance arrangements for the carnival.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Well, meantime, the star performer of Everybody's Happy Pastime Carnival shows, a girl named... Oh, now where's that piece of paper? I jotted it down. Oh, here we are. Dolly Zemansky, the Queen of the Blades.
Ice skater?
Knife thrower.
Oh, I get it.
She's a knife thrower with the show, Jeffrey. Best in a line, they say.
Well, what's the trouble?
That's just it. Someone's been threatening her, a man named Rand. It's upsetting her, Jeffrey. Beginning to show in her work. That's what worries our client here.
What's Rand got on her?
Well, I don't know, Jeffrey. Our client doesn't know. Isn't that right, sir? Yes. No, but we'll retain to find out.
And get rid of him.
Exactly. Get rid of him. Get rid of him, Jeffrey.
Like the Lion said, it was a chance to get out of the city. I drove Father Time back out to his carnival. He had to pick up his stuff and then make the 2 o'clock plane at International Airport. The carnival was set up on a couple of vacant lots out on Sepulveda. Big sign, everybody's happy pastime carnival shows. Tents, trailers, Ferris wheels, sawdust, the usual stuff. The old guy pointed out Dolly Zemansky's trailer, and I was on my own. I didn't get far. A guy in a 1922 tux, 3 days whiskers, and a turban like a second-hand bird's nest stopped me.
Oh, there. How do you do, sir?
The only legitimate thing about the Swami was his breath. That was 90 proof.
You are Regan.
What's that to you?
I am Swami Al-Kaji. Step this way, please, into my tent. I will consult the crystal. The crystal ball tells me many things.
Yeah? Like what?
Sit right here, Mr. Regan.
Thanks.
The crystal ball tells me, Mr. Regan, that you've been hired to help Dolly Zemansky. Tells me you have been hired by... yes, by the owner of our little carnival.
How much of that did he tell you?
Yes, Mr. Regan, it was he who told me. I saw you arrive together.
What do you know about Rand?
Fred Rand, let me see. Yes, let me see. The crystal ball is cloudy. The sand of time runs through the glass, Mr. Regan.
Cut it out.
What do you mean?
You're a Swami like Truman's a Republican.
Yes, true. Yes. Well, have a drink, Mr. Regan. I see much more in this than in the crystal ball. Yes. Say when.
When?
Here you are.
Thanks.
I'm a four-finger man myself, Mr. Regan. Been my ruin.
You said you had information.
Yes, there are 2 sisters.
Zemansky?
Yes, Dolly and Mary.
Who's married?
The younger sister.
She new to the show?
A few months with us.
Her sister get her the job?
Yes, Dolly Zemansky's our star performer. Naturally, she has influence.
Okay. What about Rand?
I will consult the crystal ball.
Look, I don't get paid by the hour. What's Rand got on Dolly Zemansky?
I don't know.
No?
I see letters forming in the crystal.
Okay, play it your way.
F, Z. I can't see any more now. Perhaps if you'd care
to...
Mr. Regan, Mr. Regan!
Maybe the Swami had something to sell. But if I couldn't get it for free, I could go back and buy it later. It was only a little ways to Dolly Zemansky's trailer. Big, expensive job. Everything was wide open because of the heat, so I walked in. Nobody home. Ladies' clothes lying around, theatrical makeup, grease paint stick. Picture of some round-faced guy with a crew cut signed, yours adoringly, no name. Knives and daggers around. And a frosty blonde with green eyes in the doorway watching me.
What are you doing in here?
Homework?
It's clever.
Who are you?
That's what I ought to ask you.
Oh, guess. You're Dolly Zemansky.
No, I'm her sister.
Mary Zemansky.
Yes.
I'm Jeff Regan, International Detective Bureau.
You're a detective?
That's it. You joined the carnival about 4 months ago.
5 months.
5 months. Been in show business before?
No, I was a boy back home, but I...
That him?
What?
Photo on the dressing table.
No. Sister Pine.
Pine?
He's in love with my sister.
Pine. Pine, don't I?
Harold Pine. J.J. Pine's son.
Yeah?
You know, Pine warehouses. They're all over Los Angeles.
So your sister's going to marry them?
Why, think so.
But maybe she isn't.
Mr. Regan,
Supposing you give me what you know, About 4 days ago, a guy turned up, Rand.
Yes.
Your sister scare easy?
Oh, no, Mr. Regan, that's just it. She's strong-minded. She left home when she was 15.
Go on.
Well, life can't have been easy for her, you know, show business.
Just tell it.
Well, she's independent, Mr. Regan. I've tried to tell her...
What about Rand?
Mr. Regan, I can't tell you.
Lady, I've got a job to do. What about Rand?
I don't know.
Your sister scared of him?
She
is or she isn't?
It's something else. She told me she didn't know him. She said he was trying to get fresh, but twice I shouldn't tell you this.
My fee says I help your sister.
All right. There's a little street 2 blocks up Sepulveda. Twice I walked by there this morning and 2 days ago. There was a green sedan parked there both times, and Fred Rand and my sister were in it. They seemed to be arguing. Mr. Regan, that's all I know.
Okay. How do I find your sister?
She performs in the main tent, but she must be just about through. She might be over there.
Okay. See you. I started for the main tent and got about halfway up the midway when he passed me, going down the midway, and into the big shiny trailer. Broad-shouldered, 6-foot guy with red hair. And when he went into the Zemansky sisters' trailer, I knew he was Rand. I started for the trailer. I thought I heard voices quarreling. And then I knew something was wrong. That was Mary Zemansky screaming. I hadn't had my eye off the door of that trailer 60 seconds since I left. Nobody went in but Rand. Nobody came out. But I busted fast. I made the last 100 yards like Mel Patton on Dexedrine. But what I saw when I got inside that trailer stopped me cold. It was Mary Zemansky and Rand. But it wasn't like I figured. Mary was hanging onto the wall and staring down at the floor, sobbing. And on the floor was Rand, with a knife in his back. All right, give it to me. Give it to me fast.
No.
What happened? Come on.
No, I can't tell you. I can't.
But you've got 10 seconds before the whole carnival will be in here. What happened? Tell me what happened.
I won't talk.
All right, both of you stand back at the end of the trailer.
Who are you?
Sergeant Post, police. Hands above your heads.
All right. Clear away now. Clear back, folks.
You, Dolly Zemansky?
No, I'm your sister, Mary Zemansky.
Your turn, mister.
Maybe we can take our hands down?
You armed?
Yeah.
Where till I get it? Hip?
Shoulder.
Okay. Let him down.
Thanks.
Got a permit to carry this?
Sure.
Show it.
Regan, private detective, International Detective Bureau. Here's the file copy.
Look good, Regan. You kill this guy? Okay, Regan. Well, maybe you'll tell me who the guy was.
His name was Fred Rand.
That check, Regan?
What I heard.
Maybe you knew Rand, Regan.
Nope.
How'd you get in here so quick?
Heard screams.
Sure.
Oh, what's the use of all this? You both know what happened.
No, what did?
Mr. Rand came in and well, he'd been bothering Dolly. Maybe he thought I was Dolly. We look a little bit alike. And he came in
And? Go on.
He struggled. And I killed him.
It hung together like the Jap Navy. She was sore at Rand because he'd been bothering her sister, so when the big 6-foot guy came into the trailer, she grabbed him and stabbed him in the back. Sure, it could have happened like that. But from the look that came on Sergeant Post's face, I could see he'd try to make it stick. He looked like a hungry kid at a bakery window. He was seeing lieutenant stripes. Well, half an hour later, Mary went off for the ride downtown in the paddy wagon. I figured it was a funny thing Dolly Zemansky hadn't showed up. I decided to look for her. She wasn't around. She'd finished her act a little bit before the ruckus started, and it looked like nobody had seen her since. Then I saw a tent with some stars and crescent moons painted on the front, and that reminded me of something. A phony swami with information for sale. He was inside. All right, Swami, get busy on that crystal ball and dish up some answers.
Yes.
Like FZ.
Yes, the letters FC. The crystal is clearly...
Oh, clear it. It's a murder rap now. FZ what? Rand.
Yes, Mr. Lee.
Fred Rand.
Mrs. Fred Zemansky Rand.
Dolly Zemansky was his wife. Now you've said something. That gave me something to work on, but halfway to my car, I remembered something else. Something Mary Zemansky had said. A green sedan parked twice in the same place. Maybe it was parked there a third time. It figured the owner wouldn't be driving it away. He was taking a free ride as a guest of the county to the morgue. It was there, green sedan, on the little street 2 blocks up Sepulveda. The door was unlocked. The registration on the steering post read Fred Rand. That figured. The address was on a street called Delancey in San Francisco. But maybe I wouldn't have to go that far. There was a card down on the floorboards. One of those commercial hotel cards. Globe Hotel, Main Street. I stuck it in my pocket. That was when a guy said,
I'm gonna kill you, Fred Rand.
I hit the car door with my shoulder. That knocked him back, but he came in again and tried for me. I blocked it.
Why, you...
That was when I got a good look at him. He was the guy in the picture in the Zemansky sisters' trailer. Yours adoringly, Harold Pine. I'd like to have stuck around and had a little talk with Harold Pine. Maybe knew some answers. But one answer he didn't know was who killed Fred Rand. When he made that college try on me and called me Rand, it didn't take the FBI to figure he didn't even know Rand was dead. But it looked like Pine was going to be asleep a while, so I went downtown. The Globe Hotel. Last stop on the line for the canned heat crowd. Brass spittoons. Row of cracked leather chairs along the front. 2 or 3 old guys dying in them. Nobody at the desk, so I picked up number 306 from the register and went up. The door wasn't locked. Inside, you could see why. Nothing in the joint but a brass bed. Cardboard suitcase on a chair with a couple of neckties in it. Fred Rand had been traveling white. But there was something else in the suitcase stuck in the lining. Item torn out of the Weekly Variety, the show business sheet. It said a couple of knife throwers named Duncan and Dolly had checked out of Las Vegas for work at a spot called the Blue Dolphin Casino, Los Angeles. The date line was half torn off, but you could make out the 46 at the end. There was a phone on the wall, and I tried the Blue Dolphin Casino. There was nobody home. Too early for a night spot. So I decided to let the Lion work on that one.
International Detective Bureau, Anthony J. Lyon, President speaking.
Lion, I've got something for you.
Jeffrey, I'm glad you called. I've just talked to the proprietor of the Everybody's Happy Pastime Carnival shows from Phoenix.
So we're off the job.
Well, now, Jeffrey, what can we expect? We were retained to get rid of that fellow Rand, to relieve Miss Dolly Zemansky of any undue nervous stress that might endanger the box office value of her performance.
Go on.
Now, Jeffrey, it just seems that, the sister did the job for us.
Sure she did.
Jeffrey, I don't think I understand you.
You can understand this. This job we stick on.
Jeffrey, be reasonable. The matter's in the hands of the police.
They got the wrong goose.
What's that?
I don't think she stabbed a 6-foot guy in the back. I think somebody pitched the strike out in through the window.
Dolly Zemansky?
Maybe. I think that's what her sister thinks. I think that's why she confessed.
Oh, I see what you're driving at now. We're defending the innocent again. We're not in business for money, are we, Regan? Why should we be with the world full of poor unfortunates waiting to be helped?
Cut it out.
Regan, from now on, if you want to work for charity, you work alone. You're fired.
That's the only good news I've had all day. I checked out of Rand's hotel the same way I went in. When I was crossing the street, I saw somebody coming up the other sidewalk. My high school geometry told me that if I walked fast enough, I could get opposite where my car was parked the same time she did. Okay, come on.
Go on, me.
Sister. Get in the car.
Can't do this to me.
You're Dolly Zemansky, and I'm doing it. Get in there. And stay still. I don't like you, Dolly.
How do you know my name?
You look like your sister.
Mary?
Mary.
Who are you?
Never mind.
Well, where are you taking me?
All right, up Hill Street. There's a place to park above Central. There's a nice view of the city jail.
Jail?
That's right, jail. All right, there. Like I said, there's a good view.
What's the pitch, Regan?
How'd you get back?
The Regan? It's on the steering post.
You got good eyes.
Thanks, honey.
I didn't say that way.
So you don't love me. What's the pitch?
See that building down there? It's the city jail. Do you know who's in it?
No.
It's your sister.
Mary?
Mary.
Why?
She says she killed a guy named Fred Rand.
Fred Rand?
Never heard of Fred Rand, then. Then why were you going to the Globe Hotel? You never heard of that either. Talk, Williams. Okay, I will. You get the Pine warehouses on the hook. It looks good, but there's just one thing wrong. Fred Rand. You're married to him. The guy turns up. Maybe he heard about Harold Pine. He blackmails you.
Okay, he blackmails me, so what?
So you want to get rid of him. You come back from your act this afternoon with the knives in your hands. You get near the trailer. The window's open. You see Rand inside arguing with his sister. That must have been an easy pitch for the star of the show. Your sister's locked up down there on a murder rap to cover you, and you got nothing to say. Okay. I got nothing on you. Not now. But you'll talk. Later. Now get out. I got business. That gave me nothing, so I went down to the jail to try to see Mary Zemansky again. It took me an hour to find out I wasn't going to get to her. But I did find out one thing. That cop had done his job well. Mary had signed a written confession to the murder of Rand. I got in my car and bucked traffic out to Ventura Boulevard. I hit a gas station and checked the address of the Blue Dolphin. It was in Encino. That meant it was near the carnival and I could pick it up later. Everybody's happy pastime was doing peak business by the time I got there. The Midway was lit up like a sailor on shore leave. But where I went, it was dark. Out and back of the Zemansky sisters' trailer. Maybe I could pick up some proof that Dolly Zemansky pitched that night that killed Rand. I tripped over a tent rope and bumped into something. Wait a minute. Who are you?
I'm Porky.
Come on out in the light.
Yes, sir.
You're Pine.
Yes, sir, I'm Pine. Harold Pine. But they call me Porky. Porcupine. I reckon you could say it's a sort of a joke. Porcupine? It started when I was in college.
Yeah. My name's Regan, private detective.
Oh, I owe you an apology, Mr. Regan. At the car.
Skip it.
I thought you were Fred Rand.
Why were you gunning for him?
Fred Rand? Calls her Dolly.
Dolly Zemansky. You're going to marry her, aren't you?
Well,
What's on your mind?
Well, now that there's been a murder...
Go on.
I think I better tell the truth.
It's a good idea.
You asked me if I was going to marry Dolly. Well, I am married to her. San Bernardino. Last Thursday. My father, J.J. Pine, reckons, Mr. Regan, because of the family money...
Sure. You couldn't have married Dolly Zemansky. She was married to Fred Rand.
Not for 3 years.
Huh?
They was divorced, Mr. Regan.
You know that?
Well, Dolly had the decree. How else could we have got a marriage license?
Did you see the divorce decree?
Oh, yes, sir.
When was it granted?
1946.
Month. You remember?
Yes, October.
Day?
Well, Mr. Regan, I don't see
what day?
October 14th, 1946.
October 14th, 1946. Okay.
Well, Mr. Regan, I don't understand.
Rand showed up again, huh?
Yes, sir.
So you decided to kill him?
He was molesting Dolly.
Sure.
Well, maybe I just beat him up.
You're a kid, Pine.
Maybe I am.
You're keeping bad company.
I don't think so.
Who do you think knifed Fred Rand?
I don't rightly know.
What were you looking for in back of that trailer?
Nothing. I didn't think of anything.
You know Dolly's sister, Mary?
I do.
You think she killed Fred Rand?
No.
Then who did?
I don't know.
Okay, Pine. You didn't, anyway.
Well, maybe I was just pretending I didn't know he was dead when I fought with you at his car.
No, Porky. You're not that smart.
Mr. Regan, I reckon that's so.
Next stop was the Blue Dolphin Casino. The manager wasn't there, so I waited around. Must have been almost midnight before he showed.
My bartender tells me you're looking for me.
You're the manager, I am.
You bought it. In here.
You book acts?
Houston.
You ever hear of Duncan and Dolly, night throwers?
Did they ever play us?
1946. Maybe, October?
I could look it up.
Okay.
Over here. Files, over here.
Plenty of cheesecake on the wall.
Oh, those pictures? Acts that have played us.
Yeah?
Yeah. Autograph photos. The Mandy boy, Mandy is me, we're just scared to love. Dimples Davis. Dimples. You see what I mean?
Yeah. See what you mean.
October 1946?
Could be.
No. Hey, wait a second. Last week of September. 26th through the 29th. Last week of September, 1946, Duncan and Dolly...
Let me see that. Dolly Zemansky and Harry Duncan, King and Queen of the Blades. Split week booking, September 26th to 29th. 1946.
I'm thinking King and Queen of the Blades. Wait a second. Behind this locker. Yeah, photos all over the place. I'm just remembering. We keep the leg on out where you can see it, but this stuff, you see. Yeah, like I'm remembering. The Mandy, sincerely, King and Queen of the Blades, Duncan and Dolly.
Let me see that picture.
Yeah. You recognize them?
Yeah, both of them. Dolly and Duncan.
Yeah? What'd it get you?
It gets me my answer. I made it fast back to the carnival. The midway was closed, but I could see a light on in one of the tents. I could hear voices.
No good, stupid. You're a shite. Oh, that's no good.
But when I walked in, the light went off.
Duncan. The light's back on.
That told me where they were. I started. Slow. I waited.
Duncan, don't. Put that knife down. Duncan's enough, man, was enough!
All right, Duncan, I'm coming. The knife went past, took some air that belonged to me, and stuck in the tent pole. He shoved the table at me, and I shoved it back. He made a try for the tent door, and that was when I got in. Turn the lights on, Dolly. Harry Duncan, a phony swami.
It's a rat.
You should talk.
He okay?
You'll come out of it.
He killed Rand, thought I'd take the fall.
You let your sister take the fall and kept your trap shut because you were scared of what he knew.
Knew what?
Blue Dolphin Casino, end of September 1946.
How do you know that?
When you were supposed to be in Nevada divorcing Rand. You got to stay there 6 weeks, baby. You can't even leave for 1 day. Figure it out. You're perjured in the Nevada courts. Your divorce is no good. When you married Harold Pine, you weren't divorced from Rand.
Wise guy, Regan.
You don't get Pine. I'll take care of that. Your marriage to him is good. Like a $3 bill.
Thanks. Maybe I can do something for you sometime.
So the Swami killed Rand. That's what I figured wrong. If Mary didn't stick Rand, it had to be a toss job. Somebody had to toss that knife through the trailer window. Somebody professional. I figured you. Till I saw that photo of Duncan and Dolly. Why'd you do it?
Because he hated Rand.
He loved you.
How'd you figure that?
Guys fall in love with dames like you. I don't know why.
We were a duo. Duncan and Dolly. We were going to get married, but I ditched him for Rand.
That figures.
Rand looked good a while. Dunk went on the bottle when I married Rand. Pretty soon he got too shaky for a knife act.
Ended up like this. The phony Swami.
He said Rand had beat his time with me. He said he'd kill Rand if he got the chance. Didn't think he had the nerve.
He's coming out of it. Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to talk to Dunk. So long, Regan.
Get out of here! That wrapped it up for me. The police took it from there, and after a few hours at headquarters, I headed back to my apartment. But if I figured it was that easy to get rid of the lion, I was in for a new set of figures. The lion was there, waiting, hat in hand.
Jeffrey, my boy, you've come back at last. I heard all about it. I've been waiting for you, Jeffrey.
Sure. Candle in the window.
Jeffrey, will you ever forgive me? Will you forget the unkind words I've uttered, the meaningless, petty things I've said? Oh, I rue the day I mistrusted you, Jeffrey, my boy. It was madness.
Come off it, Fatso.
But, Jeffrey, I mean it. You were right all along. Mary didn't kill that man. Mary was an innocent girl caught in the tangled web of suspicion. But you, Jeffrey, you defended her in her most trying moments. A noble thing, Jeffrey.
But I'm fired.
Fired? Oh, nonsense, my boy, nonsense. Haven't I apologized? It's just that I feel so sad about that poor child Mary and that Pine fellow without the bride he had taken to his heart. What will they ever do, Jeffrey?
Save your sympathy, Lion. They'll get along.
What? What do you mean by that?
Well, when I last saw them, they were sobbing it out on each other's shoulders.
You mean it, Jeffrey? They've discovered each other? How charming, how positively charming. And with all those millions he has, too. Millions of dollars.
Stop drooling, Fatso. There's nothing in it for you.
No, Jeffrey, I suppose not. But I can dream, can't I?
Regan, Investigator is written by William Frug and William Fifield, directed by Sterling Tracy, and stars Frank Graham as Regan, with Frank Nelson as Anthony J. Lyon. Original music is by Dick Arant.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned the burglary detail. A man walks into a pawn shop and wants to sell a ring. Indications are that the ring is stolen. Your job? Find out.
The documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, June 17th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of burglary. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Bernard. My name is Friday. We were assisting another team in checking out pawn shops, and it was 9:27 a.m. when we got to 552 South Main Street. Pacific Loan Company.
Hi, Joe, Frank.
Herb, how you doing?
What is it, business or pleasure?
A little of both. I'd like to check the Bible, Ken, Herb.
Sure thing, I'll get it for you. Where's your partner? Took the day off. Going to get some sunshine.
You picked a good day for it.
Yeah. Here you are, Joe.
Thank you. Herb, are these all the tickets for yesterday?
Yeah, it was kind of slow Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You find anything?
No, not what we want. Okay, thanks, Herb.
Oh, it's okay. You know, Joe, anytime we can help you fellas.
Yeah.
Say, Joe, while we're here, I'd like to look at a guitar.
What?
It's not for me. You know me better than that. The only piece I know is it ain't gonna rain no more.
What's wrong with how dry I am?
It's funny. What do you got in a good guitar, Herb?
Well, come on down here. I'll show you some good buys.
One of my neighbors asked me to check if I had a chance. Wants to buy his kid one.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got?
Did you say how much you want to spend?
No, but I don't guess he wants to lay out too much. How about that one hanging up there, the one with the knobs on it?
Oh, that's an electric.
What's with the knob?
For volume.
Oh. How much?
You know, that one, let you have for $30.
I don't think he'll go that much. You got something cheaper? The kid can make his own volume. That's nice looking, though, don't you think, Joe?
Yeah.
Say, here's a good one in Spanish.
That the regular kind?
That's right.
How much is it?
$12.
Oh, that sounds more like his speed. Can I see it?
Sure thing. Yeah. It isn't tuned, but go ahead and strum it.
Uh-huh. But what should I be listening for?
Tone.
Oh.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, excuse me, fellas.
Sure, go ahead, Herb.
Something I can help you with, sir?
Yeah, maybe. I guess so. How's it sound to you, Joe?
You want to step to the back?
I don't know. I'm with you. What do we listen for here?
What is it you
Tone. You know.
Oh, yeah.
This neighbor told me he was pretty lucky.
How's that?
Well, his kid's been watching those singing cowboys on TV, so now he wants to be one with a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
This guy next door says he's glad his kid hasn't got all wrapped up in space shows.
Yeah.
Says he couldn't afford a spaceship.
I don't guess there are too many second-hand spaceships for sale, are there?
Joe, I think he's trying to push your hot ring. I turn it down.
Let's go.
Hey, you, fella, hold it up. You mean me?
That's right. Police officers.
What's the matter?
Let's go over to the doorway. Right over here.
Well, why?
Come on, move. All right, hands over your head.
Come on. Turn around. All right. He's clean.
See your identification.
Like what?
You got a driver's license?
Yeah.
Get it out.
All right. Here.
Take it out of the wallet.
Sure.
All right, give it to me. James Feder. This your true name?
Yeah.
You live at this address, 1201 South Grattan Street?
Yeah.
Right, here you are. What were you doing in that shop?
I went in to sell a ring.
Let's see it.
All right. Here.
The ring belong to you?
Yeah.
Want to wait here, Frank? I'll check Herb.
Right.
Herb, you want to come out here a minute?
Sure.
Let's take a look here. Got the man who tried to sell you the ring down there?
Yeah?
All right, now look at this. Is this the ring?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an emerald. Real good stone.
Why'd you turn it down?
Well, I thought there was something wrong, like I said.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted to sell it for $20.
Yeah.
Ring's worth close to $1,000.
We took James Fetter to the office for questioning. Frank checked with R&I and found that he had a previous record. He'd been picked up on suspicion of burglary and had served one term for auto theft. The ring was examined and found to be genuine. Fetter maintained the ring belonged to him. After an hour of interrogation, he began to change his story.
All right, I didn't know what it was worth.
You mean the ring wasn't yours, then?
Yeah, if I'd known it was worth that much, I wouldn't have tried to sell it so cheap.
Well, where'd you get it?
I found it.
Where?
MacArthur Park.
When?
Last night. I go over there all the time in the evening.
Did you do anything about trying to find out who lost the ring?
Yeah, I checked in the papers and the lost and found. I guess I looked in all of them. I didn't see any ads, though, for a green ring.
Uh-huh.
Well, I looked at the ring real close. It didn't seem like a good stone, so I decided maybe it wasn't worth anything advertised.
No, but it was worth trying to sell, wasn't it?
Well, like I said, I ain't working. A few bucks would come in handy.
Yeah, sure.
You don't believe me, do you?
Well, you haven't given us much reason, have you? You started out lying. Why should we think different now?
Yeah, I guess I told you it was mine. I was afraid maybe you'd think I stole it. But I told you the truth now.
You have. Huh?
I can prove it. You take me out there. You take me to that park right now.
What'll that prove?
Well, I'll show you just where I picked it up.
Well, now, if we wait until Sunday, the trip won't be wasted, will it?
Huh?
We can listen to the band concert, too. We continued to question James Fetter, but we were unable to change his story. He was booked in on suspicion of violation of Section 459 PC and held for investigation. We made a check of his residence, his friends, and the places he was known to frequent. We could find nothing to hold him on. He came up on the overtime sheet, and he was released. The ring was booked as found property. Friday, June 20th.
Morning, Joe.
Hi. You check the book?
Yeah, nothing in.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, letter for you.
Thank you.
Right.
Listen to this. You did me a favor. Now I'm going to do you one. Go to the Greyhound bus depot. Rental locker number 103.
Yeah, is that all?
Take a look at it. Here.
Typewritten, no greeting, no signature.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Let's check it out. Frank and I took the letter over to Leighton Prince, and then we drove over to 6th and Los Angeles Street, the Greyhound bus depot. We went to the office of Ralph Thomas, the regional manager. We told him about the letter, and in his company, we went to check on locker number 103.
Well, the locker's empty now. We'll have to see if anything's been removed from it recently. You want to come with me, gentlemen? We'll take the elevator to the basement.
All right, fine. Thank you
very much, sir.
How are the lockers checked, Mr. Thomas?
The 10 cents pays for 24 hours. All lockers are checked at midnight.
I see.
When the time limit's up, the articles are removed and a new lock's put on the locker.
I see.
Of course, as long as the fee's paid, we don't bother it.
Mm-hmm.
All the things removed are ticketed and held for 90 days.
I see.
See, we hold them here at the depot for 30 days and then remove them to a warehouse. You'd be surprised at how fast they accumulate.
Yes, sir.
Here we are.
You mean all these things here have been left in lockers? People checked them, didn't come back for them?
That's right. We get quite a variety of things.
You sure do.
Of course, not all of them are of much value. For instance, sometimes a person will go out, buy a new shirt, change it in the station, check the old one, and forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, Joe. That stuffed yellow poodle dog up there.
Yeah.
Over there, half a radio. That's not much good unless you know the guy with the other half. Huh? Flat iron. Sure a lot of stuff.
Yeah, what about locker 103?
Well, let's see now. If there was anything taken from it, it should be right over here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's some nice-looking luggage. I don't see how a guy would forget something like that.
Here we are. Feels like a small box.
That's from number 103?
That's what the ticket says, see?
Uh-huh. Yeah. What about the date that this was removed?
Well, let's see. Midnight, June 17th. That was 3 days ago.
Yeah. Okay if we open it?
Not at all. Here you are.
Here, give me the paper, Joe.
Yeah.
Looks like a Christmas card box, huh?
Yeah. Take a look, Frank.
Uh-huh.
What's in it, Sergeant Friday?
Jewelry. We signed a release form for the jewelry, and then we went back to the office. A check of pawn shop records was made, and we found that all the pieces had been reported stolen in a recent burglary. Leighton Prince had called to say no prints were found. The owner, Mrs. Carlton Hendricks, was notified, and she came down to the office. 11:07 a.m.
Are you Mr. Friday, the gentleman that I talked to on the phone?
Yes, ma'am. It's my partner, Frank Smith.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Smith?
How do you do?
Smith. Oh, that's a nice, uncomplicated name. If you don't mind my saying so, Mr. Smith, I think you look like a very competent officer.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you, Mr. Friday, you look, well, as though you might be more complicated, but very efficient.
Very nice of you, thank you.
You see, that's one of my hobbies, reading character from faces. My friends say that I'm most always right.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, when you called, I was so thrilled. You can understand what it means to recover possessions that you'd given up for lost?
Yes, ma'am. Would you like to check the pieces now?
Yes, you know, I had to call off a bridge party this afternoon, but then there'll be others, and this will be such an experience to tell them about.
Yes, ma'am. Now, if you just look at these pieces and tell us if they're yours.
Oh, all right, Mr. Friday, whenever you're ready.
Yes, ma'am. Well, this is the box they were found in here.
Well, it's a Christmas card box. How clever of them. I must remember that. You know, to tell my friends.
Yes, ma'am, you do that. Frank, would you hand me that newspaper, please?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I'll just spread these on the table here and you can see them better.
Oh, Maurice would just die if he saw this.
That's your husband?
Oh, gracious, no, I don't have one. I mean, at present. I'm divorced, you see, but we're still very good friends. I met Maurice, the jeweler.
Huh?
Just the way Mr. Friday spread my jewels on the newspaper. You see, when Maurice showed me these things, he had them all displayed on a wonderful piece of velvet.
Oh.
Then you recognize these pieces as being yours, Miss Hendricks?
Oh, yes. Well, there's my wedding ring and my gold charm bracelet. Have you looked at that close, gentlemen?
No, I missed it.
Oh, you should. Here, now, look. Now, you see, all those things have a special meaning. My husband gave them to me. The little stop-and-go light, oh, that was silly. I was just learning to drive.
Yeah.
It was a good thing we had insurance. Oh, and this little wheelbarrow. The first time we went to the races and I won so much money, he said I'd need this to carry it in.
That's good. Well, then I guess we can report that the jewels have been identified by the owner, huh?
Oh, you see this little telephone, Mr. Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
It's got a number on it. But my husband didn't give me this.
He didn't?
No. It was all innocent enough, but poor Carlton. That's what my husband got furious. I even caught him with a magnifying glass one day trying to read the number of the dear jealous man.
Uh-huh.
Is everything out of the box, Mr. Friday?
Yes, ma'am. It's all right there in the paper. Why?
Well, I don't see my ring.
You mean this one right here?
No, that's not it. It was an emerald in platinum setting.
Well, when we checked the burglary report, I don't remember seeing any listing for that, Miss Hendricks.
Well, yes, I know. The time I made the report, I hadn't missed it. These things were stolen from my jewelry box, so I thought the emerald was in the safety deposit box.
I see. But why didn't you make a report when you discovered that it was gone?
Oh, well, it happened at a bad time. I'd made plans to go over to Reno for a vacation. You know what a lovely place that is. Well, I thought if the rest of the things were recovered, the ring would be too.
Well, nevertheless, you should have taken the time to report it, ma'am.
Oh, yes, I know. But at the time, I was more concerned with my plans for this trip. Have you ever been to Reno?
No, ma'am.
Oh, you should go sometime. It's really wonderful. I'm going back this winter for the winter sports. Do you gentlemen ski?
No, ma'am. No. Miss Hendricks, how much was your ring valued for?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I think Carson paid something like $1,000 for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, 3 days ago, we recovered an emerald ring that was supposed to have been found. It may possibly be yours.
There, you see. Nothing to worry about. I just knew when I saw you two men that everything was going to be all right. My friends are right. I can read character.
Yes, ma'am. We'll have to go over to the property department to identify the ring, Miss Hendricks.
Oh, good. Good. That'll be another experience. I'm going to have to get in touch with Carson. I'll need another charm for my bracelet.
Yes, ma'am, you will.
And I know now just what I want. Something that symbolizes this occasion, and especially you two officers.
Uh-huh.
Can you guess what it'll be?
No, I can't. Can you, Frank?
No, Joe, I can't.
2 little gold bloodhounds.
We took Miss Hendricks over to the property department in the central jail. We signed out for the ring, and she identified it as being hers. All the jewelry was booked as evidence. We went to the district attorney's office and got a warrant for the arrest of James Fetter. We got out a local and an APB on the suspect. Frank and I checked his residence, but we were told the suspect had moved several days previously. The landlady had no forwarding address. She couldn't tell us about any visitors or any mail he'd received. She was unable to tell us if he drove a car. We rechecked his known associates and friends. Several leads were obtained, but none of them turned up anything. 5 days went by. Thursday, June 25th. Morning, Frank.
Hi, Joe. You been here long?
About 5 minutes.
I just couldn't hit the lights this morning. What's new?
Well, we got a call from auto theft.
Yeah.
They picked up a man early this morning trying to steal a car.
Somebody we want?
I think so. James Fetter.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
Before Frank and I checked out of the office, we contacted auto theft detail and told them we wanted to talk to Feder. We drove over to the main jail. The suspect was brought to the interview room.
I heard you guys were looking for him.
That's right.
I could have come in, but I didn't think it was important.
So you do it the hard way, huh?
This is a bad beef.
I guess you figure them all that way, huh?
No, not always. You take a chance. You get caught, it's bad. But you ain't getting credit for something you didn't do.
That's so.
Yeah. What do you want to see me about?
You don't know, huh?
No, just that some of the boys said you were asking for me.
Thought maybe you'd like to tell us more about where you found that ring.
Oh, that again?
Yeah, that again.
You got my story. Now, what more do you want?
We got an alibi. Now we'd like the truth.
I found it.
Sure you did.
I don't know where I fit in, what you're trying to build, but I want no part of it.
It's not that simple.
All right, you tell me.
That ring wasn't lost. It was stolen, and you know it.
You figure I'm your pigeon, is that it?
Let's try it for size, huh?
Not this time. You can leave it with somebody else.
Might take a little time, but we're going to make you on it.
No, not from where I sit.
You'll need a better story than you got right now.
Well, not until you can prove I didn't find it.
We got the other stuff you took.
Oh, come on. Now you're really reaching.
No, I don't think so. You did us a favor, but that doesn't put us on your side.
Look, maybe you better fill me in.
We got your letter.
You did?
Yeah.
That's great. Now tell me what I said.
I'll do even better. Here, you read it.
This is the letter I wrote, huh?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I get it now. You found some stuff down at the Greyhound Depot.
You called it.
Well, I'll give you something else.
Yeah?
I didn't write that letter. I don't know who did, but it wasn't me.
The ring you had has been identified by the owner. A lot of other stuff we recovered.
Look, I'll tell you something. It's like I said, you take your chances, but I ain't going to front for this deal.
Yeah.
Looks like someone was trying to nail me in, but I don't want it. You said I did you a favor. I didn't, but I'm going to now.
All right, why don't you?
I got that ring from a girl I know.
What's her name?
Jill Mason.
Go ahead.
Well, I ran into her the other night. I told her I could use a couple of bucks. She's owed me $15 for a long time. She said she didn't have any cash, but she gave me the ring.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what it was worth. That's the truth. I don't think she did either. She's carrying a pretty fair package at the time.
Well, go ahead.
Well, she told me she got the ring from a boyfriend. That's all I knew about it.
Why'd you give us the story about the part?
Well, I figured maybe it'd keep her out of trouble. As long as you had the ring, I thought that was enough.
And what's this girl mean to you?
You mean how well do I know her?
Yeah.
I talked to her, that's all, but the only reason I give this to you is I don't want to pay somebody else's bill.
She ever done any big time?
I don't know. I never had any serious talks with her.
Want to tell us where she lives?
Yeah. You know, I don't understand that letter. Maybe you still think I wrote it, but I didn't.
We only got your word for that.
No. Doesn't make sense I'd send a letter if I'd taken the stuff and wanted to keep it.
You might have.
Why?
You made a lot of other mistakes. After further questioning, the suspect gave us a description of Jill Mason and her address. Frank and I went back to the office and checked her name through R&I, but we found no previous record for anybody answering her description. We drove over to 943 Wright Street, and we found the apartment house Feder had told us about. Jill Mason's name was listed on a mailbox near the front entrance. We went up to the third floor, apartment 316. We rang the bell, and the door was opened by a woman of about 35 years of age. Her face showed signs of having recently been bruised.
Yeah? What is it?
You Jill Mason?
That's right.
Police officers would like to talk to you.
Oh, well, I was just going to the beauty parlor. I'm late now.
We'd appreciate it if you can wait, ma'am.
All right.
All right, if we come in?
Guess so.
Thank you. You live alone here?
Yep.
All right, if we look around?
Go ahead.
Frank?
Yeah.
Look, what's this all about? I don't think I like it. That slob Whitey put you up to this?
Beg your pardon?
Whitey, the bartender up the One Stop. That chiseler make a fuss over the couple of 10-cent glasses I broke last night?
We haven't talked to him.
It's okay, Joe.
Wouldn't have surprised me if he had. Imagine him telling me I wasn't no lady. His shins are going to be sore for a couple of days.
Do you know a person named James Feder?
What's his last name?
Feder. F-E-D-E-R.
You say he knew me?
Can you tell us that, please?
You know?
Yeah. Say, is this going to take long?
To make a difference?
Yeah, I'd like to call and cancel my appointment.
All right.
Thanks. Hi, Helen. Joe Mason. I'm going to have to cancel my appointment. Okay, I'll call you. Yeah. I'm sorry, honey. Yeah. Goodbye. No sense keeping her waiting. I didn't have to ask you if you'd be here long. When it wasn't about last night, I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Mind if I sit down?
Go ahead.
I could lie to you, but if you talk to Feder, it'd only be wasted breath. I'm beat as it is, more than one way.
Did you give Feder a ring?
That's what kicked the whole business off.
Yeah?
You see my face? It doesn't look too bad now, but you should have seen it a week ago. If I'd had a gun, I think I'd have shot him.
Feder, you mean? Huh?
No, he didn't have anything to do with it. I mean Steve Remsen.
Who's he?
Guy that gave me the ring, the one I gave to Feder for the money I owed him. I was pretty stupid about it, but that wasn't any reason for me to take the beating.
When did this Remsen get the ring?
Did you get my letter? So I got even with him.
Did you know the ring was stolen when you gave it to Feder?
No, Steve just gave it to me. He didn't say anything about where he got it or how much it was worth. Nothing. Just before I saw Feder, had a fight with Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little loaded. And Feder asked me for the money. I gave him the ring.
Remsen told you it was stolen, did he?
Later, after he'd found out what I'd done with it, he got real sore. Said if Feder tried to pawn the ring, they'd find out about the other stuff.
Uh-huh.
Said he couldn't go back to the bus station for it. Cops might pick him up.
I see.
We were up here. He was drinking. Got madder all the time and finally worked me over.
Mm-hmm.
Feder got in touch with me after you let him go. Told me what had happened. I didn't let on that I knew about the ring, but that's when I figured how to get even with Steve. I mailed you the letter.
You know where Remsen is now?
No. He'll probably call today. I haven't seen him since he beat up on me, but he'll call. Trying to make up. I told him we were through. I can get him up here for you.
Mm-hmm. Do you know where he lives?
Not now. He's moved.
Can you give us the address?
Sure. But don't you believe me? I wouldn't lie to you, not after what he done to me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get even with him, that's all. I don't know why you don't buy it.
Well, maybe we will.
Yeah?
If he shows up. We called the office, and another team of men was sent out to check the address Joe Mason had given us for Steve Remsen. We had the name checked through R&I, but without result. Frank went out and moved the car away from the building in case Remsen might show up. We went back to the apartment and waited for him to call. 10 hours went by. She received several calls, but none of them from Remsen. Manuel Pena, one of the detectives checking Remsen's address, called and said that they'd found that he moved away on June 18th. He said they'd make a follow-up investigation. 11:30 p.m.
What if he doesn't call me?
He said he might, didn't he?
I know, but it's never at any particular time. I just said he'd been calling. Maybe he won't. What happens then?
We'll wait and see. Remember, hold it so we can hear it now.
I know. Hello? Oh, hi. I don't know if I can make it. Well, I know. I'd like to, but I'll have to call you. Uh-huh. Sure, honey. Thanks for calling. Bye. Girlfriend wanted me to go bowling tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
You heard what I told her. Guess it's better not to try to plan anything, huh?
Yeah.
It's the front door buzzer. Someone's calling from down below. The door's locked at 10.
All right, answer it and hold the receiver so we can hear.
You still don't trust me.
That's not the point.
Hello? It's him.
Get him up here.
What's that, Steve? Uh-huh. I know, honey. I guess I was wrong, too. Uh-huh. Come on up. Hurry, honey. There. That'll open the front door for him. He'll be right up.
Frank, you want to unlock this door?
Yeah.
You carry his gun?
I know he's got one.
All set?
Yeah.
Hiya, doll.
Police officers, Remsen, get your hands up.
What's
Come on, over your head. Hold it right there, Frank.
Yeah. What is this, Jill?
All right. He's clean. Get your hands behind your back. Come on.
You heard him. These are police officers. Honey.
Boy, you...
All right, hold it right there.
You and the cops. I should have finished what I started with you.
You tried.
You wouldn't have got your laylet if you'd used your head. We wouldn't be in this mess now. My fault for tying her with a knothead like you.
Oh, you...
All right, now stop it, both of you.
Sure, it's just that you guys never come close if it wasn't for this dumb broad.
You tell us.
Had it all worked out. Things were going just the way I planned.
All right?
Sure, I'd be sitting pretty except for her.
Yeah, sure you would.
Dumb broad, the biggest mistake she ever made.
No, there was one other.
What?
The first time she talked to you.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On October 5th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Steve Lynn Remsen was tried and convicted on one count of burglary in the second degree and received sentence as prescribed by law. Burglary in the second degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not more than 1 year in the county jail, or by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of not less than 1 nor more than 15 years. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.
one's about Pete Kelly. It's about the world he goes around in. It's about the big music, and the big trouble, and the big 20. So when they ask you, tell them this one's about the blues. Pete Kelly's blues. Pete Kelly's Blues, starring Jack Webb, with story by Joe Eisinger and music by Dick Kepner.
My name's Pete Kelly. I play cornet. You'll find us at 417 Cherry Street, Kansas City. It's a standard speakeasy. Before Prohibition, the building housed a cleaning and dyeing plant. It hasn't changed much. The vats came in handy. It's still tough to get a clear gin, but a lady likes the idea of a drink to match the color of her dress. The lease is owned by George Lupo. He's a fat, friendly little guy who wouldn't harm a fly. There's no money in harming flies. We start every night about 10 and play till the customers get that first frightening look at each other in the early light. Lupo's working on a scheme to push the dawn back for at least one more hour. I don't think he'll make it, but I wouldn't want to risk a buck against him. The last night, everything was routine until I saw her again. We were just winding up the third set when she came in, flanked with the same deadpan gunsel. She sat alone at the same table, ordered the same drink, smoked the same Egyptian deities, and gave me that same loving look. The gunsel, as usual, nibbled at his drink at the bar, and his eyes playing watchdog for the girl. This was the fifth night, 4 nights running, same girl, same gunsel, same routine. Sit for 5 solid hours, drink, smoke, and work me over with her eyes, reach down deep for a sigh, and leave with deadpan right behind her. Well, I didn't like it. I was beginning to taste salt on my tongue. We went into a finish, and the girl looked once at the gunsel. He nodded, left the bar, and started to the stand. All right. Nick, can you push it a little? It helps when we can hear the beat. All right, don't audition for me. Just do it, huh?
Pete.
Yeah, Red.
That babe's here again.
I know. All right, what do we got up next?
Working up a head of steam, Pete.
Well, she's beginning to make me feel like a wayside shrine.
You.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a request? A number you'd like
No,
to have?
I got no request, but the lady, she's got a request.
The lady?
What's the matter? You don't see the lady? How come you don't see the lady when she's looking right at you?
Oh, that lady. Yeah, sure, I see the lady.
So why do you make like you don't see the lady when all the time you know the lady's looking right at you?
Look, friend, I'm only a poor, underpaid employee in this trap. Now, my contract says I'm to play music to please the patrons. I'd be very happy to do anything the lady likes to please the lady.
So, all right.
So what does she want me to do?
So she wants you to have a drink with her.
Sure, that'd be an honor. But I'm afraid that Mr. Lupo, he's my boss, you know. George Lupo, the proprietor, he doesn't like his employees to mingle
I
with
will talk to Lupo. He'll like it.
Yeah, you could probably make him love it.
Come on.
I'll be right back, Red. Use some nickels.
Right, Petey. Vita, this is Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, this is Vita Brand.
Sit down, Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, thanks.
All right now, Vita? You happy?
I'm getting happier by the minute.
Sure, you want me to go back to the bar?
Sit here, it's more friendly. Hello, Pete.
Hello, Miss Brand.
Vida.
Vita?
You like my name?
Sure, it's beautiful.
Vida. I only just got it last week.
It'll take a little time to break it in, huh?
Let me hear you say it.
Vita.
Yeah. I like the way you say it. Like you mean it.
Yeah, I do. I never meant anything more in my life.
That's because you're sincere. I knew you were sincere the first time I looked at you. Remember the first night I came in? Sat here and looked at you.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty busy up there, you know.
Ain't got a wink since that night.
Well, maybe if you go home and put your mind to it, huh?
No use, Pete. I tried. Nothing's any good. Nothing I can do is going to change it.
Change what?
The way I feel.
Sick?
Yeah.
With what?
With love.
Oh, poor Vita. Yeah, well, beautiful girl like you, no trouble finding another man.
I don't want another man.
You don't want another man.
I want you.
That's what Vita wants, you.
I love you, Pete.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's the way it ought to be. Everybody love everybody else. It's a better world. Well, I got a number to do.
Now, you shut up. The lady is trying to tell you how much she loves you, so pay attention.
Yeah.
First time I saw you, Pete, hit me like a dum-dum bullet.
Well, excuse me. I have to earn $1.
Frame it. It's the last one you'll have to earn.
All right. Let's do one. What do you got up?
Till we meet again.
All right.
Petey.
Yeah, Red.
That babe, I got the rumble on her from Lupo.
Yeah?
Ever hear of a citizen named Bacalides? The 3-for boy. 3 killings for the price of 2.
All right, Red. Funnel it down, huh?
She belongs to Bacalides. Loser, Petey. Loser.
Yeah, you told me what. Now tell me how. Well, let's try one. Let's do it till we meet again. All right, we'll make a slow intro out of the last 8. We'll go back to the top. Nick, you take the first 4 going in. Everybody got it?
Guilty.
All right. Let's try it. Come on, let's all play it, huh? All right, once more.
Nervous, Petey?
No, I'm not nervous. Now, come on, everybody, once more. All right. No break.
Pete, Gunsel's heading this way again.
Yeah, I know. What do we got up next?
Brew, sweet little you, and in addition, one
All right. Now, look, friend, I got a job to do.
Just it. Let's go.
Where?
Now, you listen, Buster. This ain't a lollipop poking you in the gut. I can drop you and be out of here before you hit the floor.
Yeah. Let's go. Well, we went outside. The Hispano out in front probably wasn't as long as it looked. We've got fairly short blocks in this part of town. Vita took the wheel. She banked low around the corner, pulled out of a half Immelman, gained a little altitude, and flew blind for downtown Kansas City. Vita glanced at me from the corners of charged eyes. Hitch just glanced at me. I leaned my head back and closed my eyes. The Hispano whipped down Main Street, lost altitude as we gained the deserted financial district, made a perfect no-point landing at the side entrance of the Grundy Bank and Savings. Well, we went into the bank through the family entrance. One light was burning, and it hung low over the biggest dice table I ever saw in any bank. The stick man was busier than a flea on a fat lady. He called the plays and called the points, and not one of the 50 torpedoes glanced at us as we climbed a short flight to an upstairs office. 2 men were in the room. One, a shadow dressed in dark clothes, looked through a small window onto the dice game down below. The Tommy gun rested easy across his knees. The other man sat behind a desk no bigger than the loading platform at Union Station. He was counting money. Neat, orderly piles of bills were stacked around him like a well-trimmed hedge. We waited while he finished thumbing a book of 50s. He just held them up to his ear, fanned them once, made a note on a pad by his elbow. Finally, he turned his swivel chair to face us. It was all chin and jaw. He leaned back, made a church steeple with his fingers, drew me a credit manager's smile, and rocked his chair gently to and fro.
Well, come in, Mr. Kelly. Sit down. You're among friends.
Yeah, thanks.
Pete,
Permit me to introduce you to this here gentleman here who's very fond of you.
Sure, everybody loves me tonight.
Oh, he doesn't love you. Only I love you. He's merely very fond of you.
I am Baccalidis.
Yeah.
He's confused. Ain't he cute? Ain't he cute when he's confused?
What is your confusion?
How much time do you have?
I'm at your disposal.
Well, look, it runs something like this, Mr. Baccalidis. I play cornet, see? At 417, I mind my own business. I try not to poke a thumb in anybody's eye. Well, I noticed this young lady here sitting out front, and tonight she asked me to have a drink with her. Well, naturally, I'm flattered.
Yes,
but,
yes, I know all this, but what is your confusion?
Well, it seems that this young lady here has some kind of an idea that she sort of likes me and...
Loves you, Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, well, loves me, like you say. Well, I don't figure myself for no Rudolph Valentino, so I get an idea that it's a rib, and especially since I know how both of you...
Not both. One. Me, I love Vida very much.
Oh, darling, you're sweet.
Yeah, that's right, for a fact. And when Vida thinks it over, I'm sure
There's nothing more to think over, Mr. Kelly. Vida has stopped loving me, all right, I face it. It makes me very unhappy, but I face it. Now she loves you. She wants you. I know how unhappy this can make her. I do not like for Vida to be unhappy, so Vida and me, we talk it over. We decide you will marry Vida.
Thank you, darling. You're sweet.
There's nothing, Vida. You know how I will do anything to make you happy, anything.
All right, now how about doing something to make me a little happy, huh?
But I give you Vida.
Yeah, well, I pass.
You refuse?
Oh, Pete, you don't mean that.
You have made Vida cry. I do not like to see Vida cry. Tell her you do not mean that.
Goodbye, friend. I got a number to do at 417, and it ain't Here Comes the Bride.
Yeah. Pick him up.
On your feet.
You will ask Vida to be your wife.
What's the next best offer?
Itch, don't hurt him.
I won't.
All right, Itch. I think Mr. Kelly wants to say something.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Huh?
Who am I?
Huh?
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Whiskey. Put him in that chair.
Come on, boy.
Hold his head back. All right, he is fine now.
Yeah. All I need is a few kind words.
I will give them to you. Just repeat after me. Vida, I love you.
Vida, I love you.
Mean it.
Vida, I love you.
Oh, Pete.
Will you marry me?
Will you marry me?
Oh, darling, of course I will.
Congratulations. We drink to it. To the happy bride and groom. Long life.
Long life.
Long life.
Yeah.
Now, here's how. Tomorrow afternoon, you and Vida will marry in City Hall. Itch will be best man. Then you go on a nice long honeymoon, drive to Canada in my Hispano, which I give Vida for a wedding present.
Look, I got a job here in town, 417 Cherry.
Go back to that crib. Tell the boss you quit. Tear up your cornet.
I'm loaded, Pete.
Loaded.
All right. Here's a pound of 50s. Tomorrow morning, you buy some clean clothes, top to bottom, inside and out. You will meet Vida at City Hall, 2 o'clock. Here's the key to the Hispano. Take it. Now kiss Vida good night.
Yeah.
Good night, Angel. I'll be the happiest bride in the world.
Sure.
And you'll be the happiest bridegroom.
Yeah, or the saddest stiff. Well, I left the office inside the spin of a top. The Hispano stood by the curb, sleek and calm, just like nothing had happened. Nothing at all. Well, I pointed for the 12th Street Bridge, made the other side of the river, and set a course down Boulder Road for Fat Annie's place. Oh, I tried to imagine life with Vida Brand. And then I thought of 6 painless ways of committing suicide. And I began to feel better. Fat Annie's place was doing a fair business for the lull hours. Maggie Jackson was standing back by the piano. I groped my way to the bar, ordered a bromo and ammonia, and listened.
All right, for the wealthy gentleman from Detroit. He needs me. All right, Ray.
He needs me. He doesn't know it, but he needs me. And so no matter where he goes, though he doesn't care, he knows I'm there. He needs me. I gotta follow where he leads me, or else he'll never know that I need him. Not as he needs me.
Thank you.
Congratulate me, Maggie.
Congratulations. What for?
Let's get back here. I want you to be the first to know. In here.
Pete, who worked you over?
You ever hear of a nail named Vita Brand?
Vita? Why, she don't weigh hardly enough to beat the white of an egg.
What do you know about her, Maggie?
Nothing much for sure. Only she's Bacalides' package, and that makes her a package nobody tampers with. Nobody.
Yeah, nobody but me.
Not if you love life, you don't.
I gotta.
Who says?
Bacalides says.
Petey, you all right?
Till tomorrow at 2 o'clock, yeah.
What's then?
Then's the wedding.
Who?
Mine and Vita Brand.
Petey, you've gone simple for sure. You know what Bacalides will do to you?
Look, Maggie, I just left Bacalides and Vita.
He catch you with her?
Look, that way I'm healthy. If he catches me without her, I'm dead in my socks.
Petey, you're taking those risks too fast. Slow it down a little. Bacalides, he's just crazy about that woman. Remember Albino Artie? He once looked at Vita like Bacalides didn't buy. That was 6 or 7 weeks ago. You seen Albino Artie for the past 6 or 7 weeks? No, nobody has.
Well, hear this. Bacalides orders me to marry Vita at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Now square it for me. Why?
And Vita, what did she say about this?
Only that she loves me.
She said that to Bacalides?
Right to his platinum teeth.
I'm getting that feeling, Petey, like my grandmother used to get.
And what's it tell you?
That Vita's preparing herself to be a bride and a widow both in the same day.
Yeah. Well, I better move.
You do that, Pete. Fast and far.
So long, Maggie. I will.
And if I were you, I wouldn't stop moving till I heard him speaking foreign languages.
Well, marry Vita and I'm a dead bridegroom. Don't marry Vita, I'm a dead bachelor. Well, I decided to try to be a live fugitive. I raced the Hispano back across the river, pulled up sharp in front of 417 Cherry. The brakes never made a sound. Lupo was pounding the cash register with both fists. He threw the usual glare at me as I pushed through to the bandstand. Hold it down, huh? Hold it down. Let's do this one real fine, for me. It's my last time around.
Pete?
Yeah, Red.
You being pushed out?
Yeah, it's that or carried out. All right. Let's do Singing the Blues, huh? Everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, that'll do. Now, look, boys. I'm not going to be around for a while. A little business I got to take care of. Well, you'll hear from me, so just keep at it right here until... Red?
Yeah, Pete?
In the alley, huh? Look, Red, I'm in a jam.
What can I do to help you?
Thanks, but nothing. I got to keep moving. Maybe cool off in a couple of weeks. Maybe not. Meantime, try to keep the boys together, huh?
Sure.
Well. Webb. Take care of yourself. Huh?
Need a couple of bucks, Erskine? Anything?
No, I'm fine. I'll see you. Well, it wasn't easy. I was going to miss the boys. I missed Red already. No, it wasn't easy. But there was only one exit. I drove around to the rooming house, raced up the stairs. All I had to take was a clean shirt, my other suit, and my book of arrangements. I'd hightail it east, just keep rolling till I ran out of road. That was the plan, until I got to my room. She was stretched across my bed, and she looked right at me as I came in. And there she was, on my bed, looking right at me, but I was all alone. Now, Vita would never be anybody's widow. She was too dead to say I do. The stocking from her left leg was where no girl's stocking ought to be, knotted tightly around her throat. Well, I tiptoed back to the door, as though she was a light sleeper. I closed the door very gently behind me, and then I raced down the 3 flights into the street, into the Hispano, and into high speed. There was no lambing out of this one. You just don't hit the road in a car belonging to the stiff you leave behind. For such violations, the law is strict. Also, Bacalides. Well, I pulled up hard in front of Sour Sammy's joint. This time, the brakes cried. Barney Ricketts was sitting at his usual table in his usual state, boiled and loud. Barney's the only ex-bootlegger in the country who went broke in 1922. He says he did that to aggravate a couple of prohibition agents he hated. Well, Barney saw me come in and waved me over to his table.
Ah, Pete Kelly. Welcome, Petey, and have a drink.
Look, Barney, I'm up to my eyes.
Nonsense, Petey. You haven't even opened them yet. Ah, here we are. A drink for you and a drink for me.
Now, listen, Barney, I'm in trouble.
Petey, I have suddenly become oppressed by the state of the world. Well, it's my own fault, Petey, my own fault. I make it a rule never to look at the public prints. But tonight, well, just listen to these few choice items.
Now, look, Barney, right now I'm a moving target for Bacalides' gun.
Last night's edition of the Star. Look here, Petey, September 8, 1923. Girl forced to leap from stranger's automobile. But let us remember, Petey, that the only girls who leap from strangers' automobiles are those who climb into them. And here, look here.
All right, Barney.
California politicians say they are responsible for President Calvin Coolidge's success. Probably insists, Petey, that it's in honor of their state that he's called Cal. And this, Petey...
Barney, look, there's a dead girl in my room.
German Marx quoted at 28 cents per million. So you see, Petey, even a German millionaire is pushed hard to feel like 30 cents.
Now, look, Vita Brand, Bacalides' girl, she's dead, Barney, in my room.
Well, now, that's most careless of you, Petey.
If I run, it's the law, Barney. If I stand still, it's Bacalides.
How did you get mixed up with Vita Brand and Bacalides?
I don't know. I'm still in last week's fog. She wanted to marry me. Bacalides said I would or else. Why, Barney? Why if he torched for her?
Very simple problem in human relationships, Petey. Tonight, the word got out that Muggsy Brand was sprung.
Who's Muggsy Brand?
Vita's father. He was sent up last year. Vita's his whole life. He tried to guard her like Lupo guards his cash register. He hates Bacalides, and if he learned that he and Vita...
Yeah, now it's coming into focus.
Sometimes, Petey, you're dull-witted. Dull-witted, but stupid.
So Bacalides and Vita rig it to disarm her old man. She marries me, takes the heat off Bacalides.
Splendid, Petey, splendid.
And her old man winds up throwing the knife at me. All I got to do now is explain Vita's body in my room to Muggsy Brand.
Precisely what Bacalides expects you to face.
All right. Glue the rest of it together for me, will you?
Bacalides is married. He could never square himself with Vita. He got in deeper than he wanted to. He couldn't dump her because of Muggsy coming out. So he ties her onto you, gets her up to your room, leaves her dead on your bed.
How do I back out of this one, Barney?
Do you know where to reach Bacalides?
Yeah, at the Grundy Bank.
His dice game?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, go there. See Bacalides, lay it on the line for him. All the way, just like we talked it here.
Well, they'll cut me down.
He might.
How much edge do I have?
Not quite enough to shave with.
But maybe just enough to cut my throat, huh?
It's your only chance, Pete. You're in the middle of a 3-way push. The law, Bacalides, Muggsy Brand.
All right, Barney. I'm counting on you on the outside.
Don't worry, Petey. I'll be there with bells on.
Yeah, make sure they don't toll for me. Well, I went back to the Grundy Bank and Savings. I had no trouble getting in. The game was just heating up. I stalled around the dark edges of the table for a minute and laid a few bucks on the field. Upstairs, the light was on in the office. The boy with the big piece was still sitting at the window. I could see the head and shoulders of Bacalides. He was still counting money. I started slowly up the stairs, went into the room without knocking. The muscle man swung sharp, pointing the heater at my stomach. Bacalides, fast for a big man, flung out a hand and knocked the gun out of line.
Hold it. Next time knock, or you pick up a lot of weight.
Yeah, for a silk stocking around my neck?
No, for you a knife. From the fingers of the best shiv man in the country.
Muggsy Brand?
Don't try to run, Kelly. He likes a moving target. Just go to him. Tell him his daughter is in your bed, a stocking around her throat. Tell him you don't understand any of it. He will be very sympathetic.
Oh, that's nice, Mr. Baccalidis. You set it up real nice.
Smart, huh?
Sure, you persuade Vita to buzz it around that I'm number one. Everything's fixed for her father's ears. Even get her to help you push her across by going up to my room.
You tell a good story, friend. Maybe too good.
Oh, put that rod down, Baccalidis, before you drop it and break your toe.
Maxie, take him downstairs. Come back alone.
Petey, look out. Get down.
Muggsy. Barney, you all right?
Shell shock.
Muggsy Brand?
Yes, Pete. I knew where he was. All he heard was Baccalidis.
Kelly.
Yeah, Muggsy.
Baccalidis. I got him?
He was between the guns. Not much left of him. Or his trigger man.
Or me. Now listen. You might poke. Money. Take it. You might get a good burial.
Easy, Muggsy, huh?
She was only a kid. Maybe if she met a guy like... He's gone, Pete.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Pete? A guy like who?
Who knows, Barney? Who knows?
Pete Kelly's Blues, starring Jack Webb, with story by Joe Eisinger and music by Dick Cathcart. Scoring by Matty Matlock. The music of Pete Kelly's Big Seven and Maggie Jackson is now available on phonograph records.
The proceeding was transcribed. It's the Silver Jubilee on NBC. There's another thrilling adventure in store for you tonight with Les Damon as the hard-hitting adventurer known as the Falcon. Later, hear the best in music, the tunes which America is singing. Yes, we bring you a sparkling new program devoted to the best in popular music and presided over by well-known musical director Meredith Wilson. Tonight, make a listening reminder to hear Meredith Wilson's Music Room. Les Damon as the Falcon, tonight on NBC.
To hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet, brought to you by Chesterfield. This is the best, Chesterfield. And the time to change, today.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to burglary detail. You get a call to meet a fire inspector at a burned-out home. There's reason to believe the fire was started by a burglar. Your job, investigate.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, November 4th. It was cool in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of burglary detail. My partner is Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Bernard. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office. It was 9:12 p.m. when we got to 2607 West 50th Street, the scene of the fire. No signs here. Just the fire must have been in the back of the house. Yeah, that's the way it looks. Hiya, Joe. All right, Tom. You know my partner, Frank, Inspector Strader from the fire department. Sure. Hello, Frank.
Been some time since we worked together, Joe.
Yeah, over a year, isn't it?
Yeah, about that.
What do you got for us this time, Inspector?
Easier to show you. Come on back.
All right.
Most of the damage is in the bedroom. Started in the closet.
Yeah.
Did burn through the next room, though. Little girl's bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
Yeah. Burned bad, huh?
Could have been a lot worse. Neighbor saw the flame through the window. Must have seen it right away. She called us and the engine company got out before the whole house was gutted.
Mm-hmm. The place locked when they got here?
Yeah. Had to break through the back door to gain entrance.
All right. Now, where do we fit in?
Well, we're pretty certain the fire was started deliberately.
Huh.
When I was checking, I noticed the window had been tampered with. Come here, I'll show you what I mean. See the lock?
Yeah. Looks like it was forced, doesn't it? See here? Screws are pulled right out of the frame.
Yeah.
Glass is cracked, too. Yeah. Any chance your boys might have done this?
No, I checked that angle. The only place they tried is the back door.
Was the window open when you first saw it, Tom?
Yeah, just like it is now. Raised about an inch.
Right. Yeah. See these marks here on the sill? Probably made when the window was forced. Better get the lab out here, I guess. Huh? Yeah, I'll get it.
Phone's in the front room near the table.
Thanks, Inspector. You been able to contact the owner, Tom?
Yeah, was with his wife and little girl. Got here just about the time they had the fire out. Took her wife and kid over to her sister's place for the night.
Well, did he know if anything had been stolen?
Didn't ask before he left. He said he'd come back as soon as he could.
Well, you got any ideas?
Well, I'm sure the fire was set. Might be insurance. Maybe a pyromaniac. Thief trying to cover something.
I'm at the task. This is my partner, Sergeant Friday.
I do, Sergeant.
Oh, yes, sir. And you met Inspector Strader.
Yes, sir. How are you? Hi. Got back as soon as I could. The wife and daughter pretty upset. We understand, Mr. Staff. She didn't think about it tonight, but she will tomorrow. Now I'll be in for it.
How's that, sir?
About the insurance.
What about the insurance?
Well, I don't have any. I can hear her now. She'll be up one side and down the other.
You don't have any fire insurance on the house at all, huh?
That's right.
How about personal property?
No, my wife's been asking me to take some out. Maybe I would have, but she wanted me to get it from her brother-in-law. Maybe I would have, but you never saw such a one-way guy, always looking to feather his own nest. You know the kind.
Yeah.
Like I was painting the kid's room, you know. Think you give me a hand? You bet he didn't. So what happens? I got no insurance.
Now, Mr. Taft, we'd like you to do something for us if you would.
Sure thing, as long as it doesn't cost me. It's going to put me in the hole, but good. Hey, what is it?
Would you check around and see if any personal items are missing here?
You mean stolen?
Yes, sir, that's right.
Well, you think someone broke in and stole something and set the fire?
No, we're not sure yet. We want you to help us.
Oh, boy, that's all I need. A fire with no insurance and rob with no insurance. My wife's brother-in-law won't ever get off my back, and my wife.
Would you check for us, sir?
Yeah, sure thing.
Thank you.
How much in here? Take something, wife's yours. And what she had was in this here box.
I rather you wouldn't touch it, though.
What's that?
I'll open it if you don't mind.
Well, it's empty. Everything's gone.
Was it pretty expensive?
Well, it didn't cost much, if that's what you mean. Mostly costume jewelry. Her watch was in here, though. She forgot it tonight. Went over to the Crenshaw district window shopping, and I remember her mentioning she left it here.
Do you think anything else is missing in here?
I don't think so, unless maybe my wife's clothes in the closet. And the way that looks, I don't guess you could tell much.
What do you think, Tom?
Well, I'll give it a preliminary check while you're going through the rest of the house and let you know.
All right, fine. Want to check the rest of the place for us, Mr. Taft?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right.
Boy, what a night. Since I wanted to steal something, you pick a place that had stuff worth lifting. There's the kids' room. Oh, look at the mess in here. I just finished painting it last week.
Yeah.
Look at it. Dolls, books all burned. Poor those kids saw that tonight, just cried her eyes out. I don't know. The guy that did this must have had a head full of rocks.
Yeah.
Christmas ain't far off. I don't know how, but I'll see to it she gets dolls and books. Nice ones. Better than these were. Wasn't anything in there he'd take. No, it's just the kitchen. Well, right off I can see he made us for the radio. That little portable on the shelf right over there. Wife likes to listen to those daytime programs while she's working. Something more to plan for Christmas.
Wonder if you have the serial number on the radio by any chance?
Never paid any attention to things like that. Anyway, I got a second hand. It wasn't worth much. It played good, though.
I'll take a good look. You notice anything else, Don?
Not right offhand. Say, fellas, how about a beer? Unless that's stolen, too.
No, thank you.
Well, that really does it.
What's that?
Now, this ties it off good. He stole a ham.
What?
A ham weighed 12 pounds and saving it for Thanksgiving. There goes a big dinner my wife planned.
Oh, I guess it's all right if you can laugh about it, huh?
I was just thinking, maybe I'll have the last laugh at my wife's brother.
What's that?
He was coming to dinner.
Further examination of the kitchen showed that about 20 cans of food had been taken. Angus Taft looked through the rest of the house, but he said he didn't think anything else was missing. Inspector Tom Strader said he was fairly sure there were no clothes in the closet when it burned. Men from the crime lab came out and took pictures of the window and also of the place of origin of the fire. A detail from Leighton Prince checked the house. Frank and I questioned people in the neighborhood, but none of them had seen or heard anyone around the Taft house before the fire started. Inspector Strader said he would notify our office of all similar house fires. The next night, we got a report from Leighton Prince. They said the prints they'd lifted from the Taft home belonged to members of the family. Ray Pinker sent word over from the crime lab that the marks on the windowsill had been made by a half-inch pry bar. On November 10th, we got another call from Inspector Strader, and we went out to 2725 West 49th Street. By 10:26 p.m., we had completed our inspection of the burned interior of the house, and we talked to the owner.
That was pretty much like the last one. Looks like more damage this time, though.
Yeah, done over 4 different fires started in this house.
Uh-huh. Same entry, bedroom window. Stolen articles just about the same, huh? I don't get that part.
How's that, Frank?
The stuff is stolen. Not much value to it. Costume jewelry, clothes, food, portable radio.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think anyone that goes out on a limb like this would try to make it worth his while. Nothing much we can check the usual sources for. One thing that might help us we don't have.
What's that, Joe?
Serial numbers. You know, if people could just give us the numbers on their radios, other stolen property, we'd have something definite to look for. I know it's a lot to ask, but if they could just do that. Inspector, what do you estimate the fire loss to be here?
$2,000.
Uh-huh.
I hope your crime lab or latent prints can come up with a lead to give you fellows something concrete to work with.
With you there, Tom.
What do you think, Joe? Same person?
Well, might be too early to say, but the fires are in the same neighborhood. Similar M.O. Chances are fair that it's the same one, yeah.
Uh-huh. Keeps up. Somebody's liable to get hurt.
We haven't got too much to go on. Well, we got a place to start.
Huh?
We know he's got some matches. Frank and I questioned the neighbors, but we failed to get any useful information. Latent prints were unable to come up with anything. The crime lab reported the window had been forced by a 1/2-inch pry bar. Within the next 3 weeks, despite our efforts, 6 more fires and burglaries occurred. In each case, the same M.O. was used. We had sent teletypes to CII and all points requesting information on any person who had used the same M.O. The staff's office had made a run. Known arsonists were checked. Pawn shops and second-hand stores were notified, but we still had no definite lead as to the identity of the arsonist burglar. We started a pin map to see if a directional trend would develop. 8:57 p.m., Wednesday, December 2nd. We were checking the map with Sergeant Rex Olson.
Anything new, Joe?
Well, we've got a few burglaries further west, up in here, but no fires.
Mm-hmm. How about the M.O.?
Same. Bedroom window entry, same type article stolen.
You know, this operator's really a wig. Take a look at this list of items that have been taken.
Mm-hmm. Dog food, baby clothes, golf balls, tennis balls, camping equipment, and a phonograph. That's quite an assortment.
Tennis balls were initialed, I think, by the owner. He said he could identify them. Details have been checking playgrounds for him.
Mm-hmm. I guess you pretty well covered every angle then.
Yeah, extra men from Metro and the fire department have been on stakeouts in areas where fires have occurred. They've run down a lot of leads, but we haven't come up with anything to date.
How about prints?
No, haven't been able to give us any positives.
I guess they're switching M.O. Something to be thankful for, then.
Yeah, but the guy is still out breathing the same air as we do.
Yeah. I know it bothers you, but you're doing your best. You can't ask for more.
Mm-hmm. If you talk to some of these families that have been burned out, and you sure wish you could.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
The guy isn't satisfied setting one fire in the house. He set as many as 6 in one place. Look at those red pins.
Mm-hmm. I'll do it. Burglary, Olson. Uh-huh. What's that address? 1904 West 50th Street. Right. Yeah, they're with me now. Yeah. Burglary, here's the address.
Right. Anything else?
Yeah, another red pen.
We drove out to the address on 50th Street. Like the other homes hit by the arsonist burglar, it was a small one-story house. Inspector Strader showed us where 5 fires had been started. The main damage was in the rear of the building. Entry had been made through a bedroom window. We called the crime lab and latent prints. The owner, a Mr. Clinton Bates, arrived and checked for missing property. 10:27 p.m. We came to the living room.
Well, right offhand, I'd say nothing was missing in here.
Well, sir, it's possible he just didn't take anything from this room.
Why do you say that, Sergeant?
Well, no fire was started in here. Now, we found in other homes, the burglar usually starts a fire in a room where he takes something.
Let's see.
Mr. Bates.
Yeah?
This bottle of perfume that's missing, you said it was initials?
That's right. I gave it to my wife for her birthday. It was monogrammed LCB in gold letters. It wasn't really expensive.
Mm-hmm. LCB.
In fact, nothing that was taken was of too much value. Why should a person go to the trouble of breaking a house to steal comic books? It doesn't make sense.
And now you said your daughter's name was written on the book.
Yeah, my wife always writes her name Carol on them. You know how kids trade them back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter takes after her mother, never wants to throw anything away. I've had over 100 comic books.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's a lot of junk I wish he had taken. And just left the house the way it was without starting the fires.
Okay, we understand. Now about the coins that were taken.
Yeah?
This is the first time that any money's been stolen.
But what did he take? About $2 worth of coins. Not much to help you there, is there?
Yes, as it might be. They're American coins that can be spent. Now, the fact that they're old may give us a lead if somebody tries to spend them.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a long shot, isn't it?
Yes, sir, maybe. But this person hasn't given us much choice. Now, do you think you could give us the dates on the coins?
Well, I can't, but my wife may be able to. They belong to her.
Like I told you, she never gets rid of anything.
Mm-hmm.
She got them from an aunt a couple, 3 weeks ago. I told her that since they were old, they might be worth more than just the regular value.
Yes, sir.
So she took them to some shop, you know, where they handle old money. The man there told her they weren't in demand, only worth a nickel, dime, whatever it was. I needed change for cigarettes one day, but she wouldn't give them to me. Anything else she hangs on to. Well, you see the junk around here.
Mm-hmm. You think you can get those dates for us?
I'll try, but like I said, if the person that did this had just forgot about the fire part and carted off some of the other junk, he'd have been doing me a big favor.
Yes, sir, but they don't have that in mind.
What do you mean?
To help anybody. We got the description and the dates of the coins from Mrs. Bates. All officers were given the information. From our pin map, we figured our suspect might live near Cimarron Street and Vernon Avenue. We spent several days contacting all the businesses in that vicinity and gave each owner a complete description of the coins. We asked them to get the license number or address of any person that might pass them and to call us right away. In the meantime, Leighton Prince sent word from the window ledge at the home of the last burglary and fire that they had lifted several clean prints. 5 days went by. Monday, December 7th. The store owner called us regarding the coins. Frank and I drove out to the corner of Cimarron Street and 43rd Place, a small neighborhood variety store.
Honey, can I help you?
Police officer.
Are you all?
Yes, ma'am. We went to see you the other day.
Oh, well, just a moment till I get my glasses on. I was trying a new glass cleaner on them just before you came in. I don't see much without them anymore. There. Oh, sure, now I remember you. You came in about the old money.
Yes, ma'am, that's right. We got your call.
Well, it's a good thing I had my glasses on about an hour ago.
What do you mean, ma'am?
When I got those coins. Otherwise, maybe I wouldn't have noticed.
Then you took in some money answering the description we gave you, did you?
The first customer this morning, I guess maybe that file took particular notice.
Mm-hmm.
I called the number on the card you gave me right away.
It was very cooperative of you, ma'am.
Only doing my duty as I see it. You men are trying to uphold the law, and as a citizen, I feel it's my job to help you. Any way I can.
Yes, ma'am. Now, when if we might see the coins?
Okie dokie, I'll get them for you.
Thank you.
When I saw that they were that old money, like you told me about, I didn't put them in the register. Oh, no. I popped them into this jelly box I keep pins in, see?
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'd better dump them out on the safe.
All right, fine.
I didn't want you to prick your fingers. It's easy to get blood poisoning.
Mm-hmm. You got that list, Frank? Yes, sir. Thank you. Here you are.
Are those the ones you're looking for?
Just a minute here. Let me check. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, how wonderful. Well, that gives me a real fine feeling, like I've done a good deed for the day.
Well, you have, ma'am. Now maybe you can help us even more and tell us about the person that gave you these.
Okie dokie. I can. But there's something I don't quite understand.
What's that, ma'am?
I thought you policemen are generally looking for real bad men.
No, not always.
That's what seems wrong. The person I got these from couldn't be the one you want.
Why do you say that?
It was a little girl, about 9 years old.
The owner told us that when the little girl had left, he'd followed her to a house about 3 blocks away. We gave her a receipt for the coins and drove over to 2216 West 43rd Place, the address he'd given us. Frank drove past the house slowly, and we saw a 1940 Plymouth sedan parked in the driveway. On the second trip, I got the license number of the vehicle. We called the office, and they sent out another team to stake out the place. We went back to the office and called DMV. They gave us the name Lyndon Granger as the legal owner. We checked the name through R&I and found that he had 5 arrests for burglary as a juvenile. We called Leighton Prince and asked them to check the fingerprints found at the house on 50th Street. 10:37 a.m.
When are they going to call?
As soon as they have time to check them thoroughly, I guess.
I was just thinking, Joe, what happens if Granger isn't our boy?
Well, I think it's kind of easy to figure, don't you?
Huh?
Sure. Find out where the girl got the coins.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that. You know what that could mean?
Mm-hmm.
More footwork. I'm telling you, Joe, I haven't put on so many miles since I worked traffic.
You don't have to tell me.
What do you mean?
All these miles you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I was with you, remember?
Yeah. I know, Joe, but after all, I'm carrying a few more pounds than you are.
That is correct.
It makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is when you go deer hunting?
No, Sir Frank, I don't. I never go.
Well, when you're carrying a rifle.
Never carry one.
Well, when you go deer hunting and you do carry a rifle, you start out in the morning, rifle doesn't weigh much at all.
It doesn't. Huh?
No, at least it doesn't feel so heavy, but along toward the end of the day, and those few pounds feel like 20.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is with the extra pounds I carry around.
Mm-hmm. Burglary Friday. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I see. On 2 of them. Good. Right.
some prints? Yeah. Granger's prints. Uh-huh. They made them on the last job. The fact that Granger's prints tied him in with the last fire burglary was enough to get a complaint, but we wanted an airtight case. We decided to follow the suspect that night. Another team was set out to relieve the stakeout on his home. When Granger left the house at 8:09 p.m., Frank and I were behind him. The other team remained at the house. We followed him for about an hour. 9:13 p.m. What do you think, Joe? Stick with him. All right. We better take him away from home before he and his wife can get together on a story, huh? Yeah. He's slowing down. I'll pull over. Stop. Can you see him? Yeah. It looks like another twist in his operation. Stealing from that car. Yeah. What did he take? Could you see? A blanket or a robe of some kind. Come on, let's get him. All right. All right, Granger. Don't put it in gear, police officer. I'm making a run for it. Right. He's going to hit that car. Come on. Out of the car, Granger. Come on, move. Come on. What? Come on, get out. Fast. Hands over your head. Right there. Keep your hands up. All right. Did you say police officers? Yeah. Right. Get your hands behind your back now.
Oh, I didn't hear you too good. I wouldn't have taken off if I'd known you was cops. That's the truth. If I was you, I'd believe that.
That's so?
Well, I'm just going to feel terrible if you guys don't believe me.
Well, now, that's too bad.
Huh?
We don't. We questioned Granger, but he refused to admit any knowledge of the burglaries or the fires. We met the other team on stakeout, and they took him into custody while we went in to talk to his wife. We identified ourselves, and she told us to come in.
Shut up, Wilson. Be quiet. Don't worry about him. He won't bite. Dog's no good for anything except to eat and sleep. No, I didn't take him with him tonight.
What's that, ma'am?
My husband goes out just about every night and takes the dog with him. Not tonight. None of my feet every minute.
Is there anybody else in this house besides you?
What?
Are you alone here?
Yeah, except for that mutt. Why?
Well, you don't mind if we look around, do you?
Don't you believe me?
Yes, yes.
You have to. I ain't hiding nobody. Go ahead.
I'll take it, Joe. You want to sit down, Miss Granger?
Why? You gonna be here for stuff?
A few things we have to ask you.
Shut up, Fortune. What do you want to ask?
What kind of work does your husband do?
He's a window washer.
Well, who's his employer?
Nobody.
Well, does he work for a business concern of any kind?
You mean like a store?
That's right.
Yeah, but he washes windows for people, too. You know, houses.
Mm-hmm. John? Yeah. Found this on the dresser in the bedroom.
Hey, what are you doing with my perfume?
This belonged to you?
You took it out of my room, didn't you?
Where'd you get it?
My husband.
Did he say where he got it?
Yeah, all-night market.
How about these initials here? LCB.
Well, sure, that's where I got the seat. He said they were closing them out.
Your husband goes out every night, doesn't he?
Yeah?
Has he brought other things home from this same market?
Why, yes.
Just tell us, has he?
Yeah. What? Something wrong? Did he do something?
What other things did he bring home?
I don't think I'll tell you.
Oh, that's up to you, Miss Granger. It would be a lot better for you if you told us the truth.
About what?
I think your husband has brought home.
I thought there was something wrong, but he said he got him at a market.
Mm-hmm.
Did he steal him?
We think he did, yeah.
Makes sense.
Seems to, doesn't it?
I was thinking of the perfume. I thought it's funny he'd spend money like that. He doesn't think that much of me.
What's that?
He thinks more of that dog than he does of me. Gave me the perfume, and the next day he put most of it on Fortune.
How's that?
The dog. He put most of the perfume on the dog. You get close, you can still smell it. Look at that collar. Pretty, isn't it? All jewels. Bet he didn't steal that. Not for his dog.
What else did he bring home?
Food, clothes, magazines, all kinds of things.
Where are they?
Food we ate. Other stuff, I don't know for sure. Some of it's in the garage.
You want to show us?
All right. We can go out the front door if it's closed.
All right. Do you have any children, Miss Granger?
No.
Pretty dark. Get my flashlight. You know if your husband's had any old coins recently?
Yeah. Gave them to me. Pennies, a couple of dimes, a quarter. I remember because it's the only money he's given me in a long time. You steal them, too?
Looks like it.
There's a key on the left side of the door. Hang on in there.
Yeah, I'll get it. You still have those coins?
No, I sent the neighbor girl to the store for me today. It was the only money I had. She sent them. Lights on the left side.
Right. Comic books. What was that name, Joe? Harold. right down the line. This camping equipment, is this something you got at that market, too?
Yeah, I guess so. You never bought any, I can remember. And any reason, he'd never take me camping.
Do you know what's in this box?
No.
Do you know where the key is for the lock?
No. Guess it'd happen.
I'll give you a hammer. Yeah.
You gonna break the lock?
Yeah. Here you are. Clock, watches, costumes, jewelry. Tennis ball, a couple old coins, $50.
You mean my husband stole all these things?
Yeah, it seems so, Miss Granger, but that's not the worst of it.
Oh, no.
In several of the homes, we think he set fires.
That mean I'm guilty, too?
No, ma'am, not necessarily. Not if you didn't know about it.
I didn't know. He never told me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about him, then it's not to me.
Mm-hmm.
You come in here and say my husband's a thief. Hearing it like this, that's not easy to take.
Well, there's one other thing, Miss Granger.
What?
Not easy to say. The story you've just heard is true. The name was retained to protect the innocent.
On March 9th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Lyndon Frederick Granger was tried and convicted of burglary in the first degree, 5 counts, and of arson, 4 counts. He received sentence as prescribed by law. Burglary in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 5 years. Arson is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 2 to 20 years in the state penitentiary. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Frazier. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Walter Sandy, Jack Crucian, Virginia Drake. Script by John Robinson, Earl Slade. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Broadcasting Company brings to its entire network one of radio's most unusual programs.
Pat Novak for hire.
Sure. I'm Pat Novak. For hire. There's a sign out in front of my office reads that way. Pat Novak for hire. Oh, there's no way to dress it up. If you're in business down on the San Francisco waterfront, everything but murder is a parlor trick. If you rob a few graves, you can pay the rent, and nobody cares if you got sore eyelids. You get that way from winking at too many things. Well, it's a good living if you don't run short of bail bonds and Benzedrine. I discovered that Friday night. After the fight broadcast, I wound up in a little whiskey barrel on Powell Street. I had a Glasgow farmer out of the red when they closed the bar, and I drifted across the street for a cup of coffee. When I came out, it was raining and the street was deserted. I stood in the doorway and watched the dull neons through the rain. They looked splotched and dim, like watercolors rubbed with a damp rag. It was beginning to rain harder, and I started out of the doorway when she ducked in and bumped up against me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just wait for your blockers on the next one. Huh?
I guess I bumped into you.
Don't go out on a limb.
Huh. I'm very sorry. I guess I didn't know where I was going.
You seem to be headed in the right direction.
How do you mean?
Forget I noticed.
It's raining awfully hard. I wonder if you ever noticed how...
When it rains, you feel lonely and lost?
Yes. Yes, that's it. How when it rains, you feel lonely and lost.
Yeah, well, we're both great readers, so if you let me get by, I want to get a cab.
Yes, I wonder if I could ask you something funny.
The bars are closed.
No, I meant coffee. I'll pay for it.
All right?
In here?
Sure. Come on. The counter will do.
All right.
What's it gonna be? Hey, you back again?
Yeah, 2 coffees.
How come?
I'm nervous. 2 coffees.
You like a bear claw, maybe?
You know what we want?
2 coffees?
Yeah.
Be right with you.
Thank you. I know it's funny asking you in here, but I have to talk to someone. I don't know what I'm doing.
I won't argue.
I've been away a long time. Guess a long time.
Yeah, the kids will be glad to see you back.
Huh?
Stop it, will you, sis? Get to the point. Put the show on the road.
Yes. I think I've lost my memory. At least it seems that way at first.
Who are you?
I don't know. I suppose you don't believe it.
No, but I convince hard.
Here you are. 2 coffees. Everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fine.
I'll be down here if you need anything else.
You thought up a name yet, Buster?
You'd be crazy to believe me. Guess you'd be crazy, but I can't remember anything. I guess
Now, look, lady, if you got amnesia, see the police.
you don't believe me.
I don't know. Maybe you are leveling. But if you're off your rocker, go to the police.
But suppose there's something that happened before and the police would be looking for me. Please, would you try to help me?
How bad are you? Do you know what town you're in?
Yes.
Have you been here before? Do you live here?
I think maybe. Seems like a place I've been.
All right, I'll put you in a cab. You go see the police.
No. I feel funny. I think I'll go outside for a minute. I don't want Hilda to know. Please, I'm going to follow police. Help me.
Mister, your girlfriend's on the floor.
Yeah, any suggestions?
No, she's your date.
All right, here, give me a hand with it.
Well, where you going to take her?
The hospital. She's an amnesia case.
I hope your memory's good.
Huh?
You'll need it for answers. Your girlfriend's passed out for good.
Don't tell me.
Feel a pulse, mister. You're going to have to start over because she's all used up.
Oh, that's good. You got a wailing wall?
Sure. Use the counter while I call homicide.
It didn't take 20/20 vision to see I was in trouble. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe it wasn't. I didn't have any idea why she keeled over there, but with a figure like hers, I knew it wasn't old age. I'd called a homicide, met Hellman was going to be in the picture soon, and then I'd stand about as much chance as a cornfield and a stone quarry. Well, I went through the girl's stuff. She had no identification. There were a couple of snapshots of her, but no name. I told the waiter my name and where Hellman could find me. And then I got out of there. I looked up Jocko Madigan, an ex-doctor who liked his booze pretty well. Smart guy, but he used a mason jar for a jigger. I finally found him holed up in some after-hours joint on Geary Street. He was talkative.
Hello, Patsy. A small jug for Mr. Novak, waiter.
I want to talk to you, Jocko.
Patsy, you shouldn't be here. It's after hours.
Yeah, look, Jocko, I need some help. What do you know about amnesia?
Oh, a temporary blessing. I thought I had it myself once.
Oh, stop it, will you?
But it just turned out to be a case of bad bourbon. A peasant's drink, I've decided.
Get up the street level long enough for me to talk. I'm in trouble.
Yes?
I met some blister tonight who took a dive after 1 cup of coffee.
Oh, I see.
She had amnesia, or she thinks she did.
Oh, she's dead. Why worry about amnesia? It's a minor ailment.
Because Hellman's going to think I had something to do with it. She picked out my lap. Don't you see how it's going to add up?
I have high hopes.
I got to do something in a hurry.
Was she a nice girl?
Yes, I guess so.
How come you met her?
Well, what difference does it make? Tell me about amnesia. Could she phony it?
Maybe. Not for long. What makes you think she did?
I don't know. She acted like a butterfly with a jag on, and she headed straight for me. It just doesn't add.
No. What cell block can I find you in?
You can get off your spine and go to work for me. You know the hospital circuit. Hit them all and find out everything you can about recent amnesia cases.
Well, how far back do I go?
Until you find one that jives with this girl.
It's impossible. Where do I start? I feel like Noah when they told him to beat the flood.
She's blonde, blue eyes, expensive clothes.
How big?
Just the right size for a good dream. Start checking now and give me a ring at my place.
No identification?
None. She only said one thing when she fell.
Oh, something crude?
No, she mentioned a gal by the name of Hilda.
That should be easy to trace.
Sure.
Just look it up in the phone book. You will find it somewhere between Hellman and homicide. Right, lover?
Well, there wasn't anything I could do for the next few hours except sublet from an ostrich. I had to keep undercover because all I had to work on was a couple of snapshots and a girl named Hilda. Neither figured to get me out of this mess. Hellman was bound to ask a lot of questions because I had as much business being with a dead girl as Lucky Luciano in a finishing school. After I left Jocko, I took a C-car downtown and I went home to grab some sleep. When I walked in the apartment, the lights were out, and that didn't make any difference. Hellman's badge was shining like a lake in Ireland. He was making himself at home with my ice cubes.
Hello, Novak. Put the light on so I can watch you turn pale.
All right, Hellman, get to the point.
Sure. Who was your girlfriend?
I don't know. She was the coy type.
So are you, Novak. You're going to look good sucking your thumb in the gas chamber.
I suppose your coroner is full of good news.
She died of an overdose of sleeping pills. The coroner's report is murder.
How about the space mark suicide?
No dice. You don't take sleeping pills, then tour the town for a spot to take a nap.
So she died in a coffee joint. What am I supposed to do, carry a stomach pump?
You're supposed to tell me who she is. We'll go from there.
I don't know. Neither did she.
I've got that down as a lie.
You file it any way you want, Hellman. She was amnesia.
So are you, Novak.
All right, hire a medium then. I told you. She came into the restaurant a total stranger. We got social, but she died a total stranger.
How are you going to prove it?
I don't know. If I knew who she was, I wouldn't play footsie with you. Do I have to draw a map? She came in trying to sort out her marbles and never got there.
I see.
What did you find out? How about clothes markings?
That's your department.
How about laundry marks?
I don't know. I guess she washed her own. Look, Novak, you're a big boy now. You're in a spot. If you want to help, now's the time to do it.
You got everything I know. From here on, you work the ball downfield.
All right. You just answer the doorbell from time to time. When you see a guy grinning out there, that'll be me coming to pinch you for murder.
Well, that'll take lots of doing, mister, and lots of proof. You remember that.
I'll try, Novak. But I may get amnesia. Good night, big shot.
When Hellman left, I backed into my headache and went to bed. Oh, sure, I was in a spot now. The scorecard said murder, and I was the medalist on the first round. If the police didn't know who she was, that meant she had no record we could work on. I still had the funny hunch about that gal pulling a phony. But if it was phony, I was worse off. I had all the best arrows in town pointing to me, and once Hellman began to build a case, I could throw away those vacation folders. I slept until about 9. The phone began to ring, and I rolled over expecting to hear Gabriel on the other end of the line. It was just Jocko. Hello, Novak talking.
This is Jocko. I've been working all night.
We'll build a monument later. What'd you find out?
The morning paper says the girl was murdered.
Yeah, Hellman gave me a preview. What'd you find out at the hospitals?
I've got a complete list of amnesia victims. I know more lost souls than a Hong Kong bartender.
Yeah?
Most of them men. Trying to get away from the little woman.
Well, you're a big help, Jocko.
Don't hang up till you hear about the girl.
Go ahead.
Nothing on file for the last 8 years. In 1941, a 17-year-old girl walked out of California General Hospital. She hasn't been heard of since.
How's the description?
Oh, it fits like last year's bathing suit. She was Marcia Halpern, the daughter of Emery Halpern.
Yeah? Who's he?
A pocket-heavy guy down on Montgomery Street.
I'll get right down there. Thanks, Jocko. You saved my life.
Well, I hadn't intended to go that far. See you later.
Well, it was my one chance, even if the odds looked bad. I called up Halpern's office. They said he wasn't in, to try him at home. It was listed for a place up on Pacific Heights, so I took a cab over there. When I walked in the lobby, I could tell old man Halpern was making as much money as you can without your own printing press. The apartment made Buckingham Palace look like something George had picked up at a fire sale. The doorman was a sober-looking specimen, the kind of guy that breathes every other Tuesday. He gave me the fisheye as I went up the elevator to the third floor. Halpern's apartment was at the east end. The butler showed me in, and I waited in the living room. It was a real cozy place, about the size of a small rugby field. A door opened on the side, and 200 pounds of Regency oozed into the room like a wet ghost.
Good morning. I'm Mr. Taylor.
I'm Novak. Where's Halpern?
Well, Mr. Halpern is away on a business trip. I'm Mark Taylor, the family lawyer. I believe that's the phrase.
Oh. Well, I'll drop by later, huh?
Perhaps I can help you. I take care of most of Mr. Halpern's business now.
Did you know his daughter?
Yes. It was quite tragic.
That's what I hear.
She was a victim of amnesia. She forgot all the details of her home.
Must have been a temptation. Did the police ever do anything on it?
The police were not advised. Mr. Halpern hired private detectives, but she was never found. Yes, it was quite tragic.
You wear your mourning a long way, Taylor. She'd be about 25 now, wouldn't she? Taffy hair, blue eyes, nice figure.
I believe she had leanings in that direction. Why, Mr. Novak?
I think I may know where she is.
You don't know what that would mean to this family, Mr. Novak.
You don't know what it would mean to me, Mr. Taylor. Here's a snapshot.
Let me see it.
Well, Taylor, this is not a B movie.
This is a picture of Marcia Halpern.
You sure?
I don't make many mistakes, Mr. Novak.
All right, if you've used up your quota. She's downtown.
I'll get in touch with Mr. Halpern right away.
No, take your time. She's dead.
When?
Last night, she got sleepy.
What?
Yeah, that's right. Somebody gave her enough sleeping pills to stock a drugstore.
I see. After all these years, to come back, and then this. It was
most tragic?
Yes, I was about to say that. It'll be a great blow to Mr. Halpern. It'll be a very great blow to Mr. Halpern. Have the police any ideas?
A few. Do you know anybody named Hilda?
No, why?
Just sweeping out the corners. When's Halpern due?
This afternoon. I'll arrange an... Excuse me, please.
Right.
Hello, this is Mark Taylor. No, that can't be right. Well, when did it happen? Yes. Yes, please keep me advised.
You ought to wear a purple suit, Taylor.
I have bad news, Mr. Novak. Brace yourself.
I'm lightheaded. Go ahead.
Mr. Halpern was killed in a motor accident last night. His car plunged down a ravine near Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
That's very strange.
Yeah. That must have been a great blow to Mr. Halpern. I left there and went downstairs. All the way down, I had the funny feeling that something was wrong. The way a person feels when he goes into a doctor's office with an incurable disease. It may have been Taylor. I don't know. He seemed all right, but I still had that feeling that something was out of place, like a broken line in a perfect picture. I crossed the street and called Hellman. It was too early in the day because he was as sad as a tap dancer in moccasins.
Hellman talking.
This is Novak. How's the case?
You look better every minute.
How's the identification?
We're moving slow. So far, we know she's a woman.
That's right. Her name's Marcia Halpern. She disappeared in 1941 with amnesia.
San Francisco?
Yeah. She's the daughter of Emery Halpern.
We'll check with old man Halpern.
You better send your best man because he rolled a car and killed himself last night.
Where?
Sacramento.
I got news for you, too.
Yeah?
We got a statement from that waiter.
Who wrote it?
He says you brought that girl in for coffee. Also, you were nice and chummy.
I knew her for 5 minutes.
With you, that's a lifetime. The guy said you were good friends. That's the way our story's going to read.
You suit yourself. I'm busy.
Yeah? Where you going?
Same place you are, Hellman, Sacramento. If I didn't move fast, I was deader than a Philadelphia nightclub. When they start taking statements, you can wire for flowers. I called Jocko and told him to check up on old man Halpern's estate. I borrowed a car and drove up to Sacramento. The accident was just outside of there. When I got to the spot, Hellman was already in charge. He's going to make a fight for the job in Last Judgment. They were down in the ravine, and Hellman was beating around the bushes, making more noise than a Venetian blind in a typhoon. Hello, Hellman. Did you find anything?
Get your own haystack. I'm busy.
Where's the body?
You get the blues if you don't see one corpse today. He's up in town.
Did you notice those tracks up there in the road?
Yeah. Double tracks don't mean a thing.
Oh, sure. Maybe 2 cars fell down and one got lost. Wake up, Hellman. If he drove over the side, he sure had a tough time making up his mind.
When you're through on that pipe, I'll send over another. I'm going over to the car.
Hellman went over to the car, and I started looking through the bushes. I don't know what I expected to find. Maybe an old Boy Scout. After about 10 minutes, I shifted over to the other side, and it showed up right near the ground under a bush. Hellman must have seen me because he came right over.
Hey, what is it? What'd you find?
A handkerchief.
Oh.
That's funny.
What's funny about it, too? It's a handkerchief. The old man had a nose, didn't he?
Well, he must have loved it then. This hanky's loaded with perfume. Take a whiff here.
Yeah. Recognize it?
Sure. I don't know about you, but I smell a rat. Things began to move. This was the first break, and Hellman knew it. I went back to town, and I tried to get in touch with Jocko, but he was running up a tab somewhere, so I drove over to see Mark Taylor again. When I got to the apartment, I found out he wasn't in, but the pinch hitter was all right. When she opened the door, I got a nice warm feeling like a melted cheese sandwich. She was standing there in a dark silk evening gown. It was strapless, and she had no worries. When she spoke, it was like saying, put another log on the fire.
Good evening.
Taylor in here?
Won't you come in?
Sure.
Mr. Taylor won't be in for a while. I'm waiting for him myself.
I see. I'm Pat Novak.
Is it urgent? Anything I can do?
If it were, you'd get my vote. Who are you?
I'm Hilda Travis. I'm a friend of the family.
Which family?
Would a drink take off the rough edges, Mr. Novak?
It might.
Good. I'll make one.
I brought Taylor a present.
How nice. A girdle, maybe? Or am I being catty?
No, a handkerchief. This one. Do you like it?
Should I?
I thought you might want it for a keepsake. I found it in a ditch up in Sacramento about 10 feet from Emery Halpern.
Poor Emery. Here's a drink.
Thanks. Poor Emery. It's full of perfume. You want to smell?
That wouldn't do any good. You want to know if it matches my perfume.
It's your idea.
Go ahead.
All right.
Now, closer. That's it. See?
Yeah.
It's early in the evening, Mr. Novak. Don't blow a fuse.
I won't until I find out who killed Marcia Halpern.
Good luck. For everybody's sake. By the way, the police think you killed her, don't they?
Did Taylor brief you?
A little.
I asked him this morning if he knew a girl named Hilda.
He must have forgotten.
Yeah, everybody's got amnesia. Just to make things easy, did you kill her?
Just to make them hard, did you?
I see. Well, just tell Taylor I called.
Don't be a savage, Mr. Novak. You haven't finished your drink. And it's raining outside.
I'll finish this one.
That's good. Sit down beside me here. We'll finish our drinks and pray for a cloudburst.
She turned out to be an old-fashioned girl. She had about 8 of them before I got out of there. I tried to pump her, but she wouldn't talk about Marcia Halpern. I just became a family friend. After I left, I ducked into a drugstore and started phoning Jocko. I finally caught him at the hunt room. He'd worked his way below the label already.
Hello, Patsy. I'm having a wonderful time.
Yeah, what'd you find out?
I just heard a funny story.
It's old. What about Halpern?
He barely changed his will after the girl died. The whole estate goes to her.
Who's next in line?
A fellow named Mark Taylor. That's the new part of the will, drawn up 3 weeks ago.
Good boy, Jocko.
So I looked up the dope on Mark Taylor. He's a family friend.
It's a new club. Go on.
Looks all right. Some funny bank book stuff, though.
For instance?
Well, he drew $3,000 out last month for a Lisbon passage. A girl named Helen Dupre. Maybe she's a foreign cinema discovery.
Oh, he's no talent scout. Meet me down in Homicide in 10 minutes, Jocko. If we're lucky, we'll show Hellman something.
What?
How to draw to an inside straight. Hurry up and don't stop for a bracer.
Well, just don't smell my breath. See you soon, Robert.
I'd explained everything I could to Hellman when Jocko got there. I went over it for him and sent him out on an errand. He was to meet Hellman and come up to Taylor's apartment. I went on ahead. It was about 11 o'clock when I knocked on the door.
Mr. Novak, so soon.
Yeah, I'm coming in. Hello, Taylor.
I won't say you're wearing out your welcome, Mr. Novak, but it's getting very thin.
You better take time out and pack your bags.
Is that nice, Patsy?
Because a guy named Hellman wants you for murder.
We've been over that once, Mr. Novak.
Yeah, but we got a whole new infield this time. Hellman thinks you killed a girl named Helen Dupre.
I don't know a girl named Helen Dupre.
The bank vouchers say yes. They say you brought her over here 6 weeks ago.
Wait a minute, Patsy.
Oh, you made the team too, Angel. They got you all fixed up for old man Halpern's case up in Sacramento.
Get out of here, Novak.
I left a drink here.
Find a bar there.
Get out of here. I wouldn't want to jam this gun through your face.
Come on in, Hellman. Did you bring him with you?
Yeah. Come in here, fella. Is that the girl? Yeah, that's her.
Where'd you see her before?
Sacramento last night.
He's crazy. It's a plant, Mark.
Tell him more, Junior. You sure she's the one?
Yeah, she was on the road, and I seen her at the car with this old fella.
Hang on, lady. The road gets bumpy from here on.
My lights were out, so I guess she didn't see me.
Take this little guy out of here.
I got a story. I seen you hit the old fella, then start the car down the bank.
I didn't hit him on the head. I told you that, Mark.
Yes, you did.
Tell him, Mark. Tell him I was here.
How can I when you tipped our mitt?
That's right, Taylor. Get out while you can.
Tell him I was here, Mark.
Why, you little fool, don't you know you've told them already?
You're a bum guy, Mark. You've been a bum guy all along.
I keep my mouth shut.
I'll give you a chance to talk. I'll tell you about him, Novak.
Shut up, you little half-wit.
You're all right on the straightaway, but you're a bad guy on the curves, Mark.
Keep still,
For
Angel.
a tin-horn punk like you, I'll talk lots.
You'd better say it fast.
Yeah. You get any prize in the house, Taylor. Take your choice.
Are you working for a living, Hellman?
Yep.
All right, then, let's go.
Yeah. See you downtown, Novak.
Is she all right, Jocko?
I'm out of practice.
Well, Patsy,
You like it this way, baby?
no complaints. I've always gone first class. I wouldn't like it the other way.
Yeah.
I could have used a little more time, but I'm not greedy. Still raining out, Patsy.
No. It stopped raining. It's beginning to clear up and over. Come on, Jocko. I'm talking to myself. Well, it seems that Marcia Halpern was dead for years. Somewhere on the other side, a girl named Helen Dupre got the story out of her. She looked a lot like Marcia Halpern, so she waited until after the war and contacted this Mark Taylor. They cooked up a hoax, and the pot boiled over. She was supposed to fake amnesia and stumble into the hospital. The pictures in the wallet would be printed. Mark would identify her as Marcia Halpern. The same night they planned to kill the old man the way they did. That way, Helen Dupre and Mark could split the dough, but they figured it wrong. Another girl named Hilda Travers had the story, too. She put the squeeze on Mark, and he blundered. He found out he didn't need a phony Marcia Halpern after all. The new clause in the will gave Mark the dough. So he loaded Helen Dupre with sleeping pills, while Hilda gave the old man his last ride. All he had to do was wait for the dough and then split with Hilda. A few things went wrong. Sometimes it only takes one. Helen did her part, but she was no Bernhard. And then at the last minute, she knew something was wrong and mentioned Hilda. I kind of began to wonder when Mark identified that picture so fast. After more than 8 years, he identified it immediately. And then there was that handkerchief. From there in, it was freewheeling. All we had to have was a witness. Oh, that guy from Sacramento? Well, he was some actor that Jocko picked up in the hunt room. Hellman finally cleaned up the mess. Taylor's in the clink, and of course, the girl already picked up her end of the check. She was nice, too, if you don't mind claw marks. Well, It all worked out, and Hellman's happy, except that actor keeps calling him up for parts.
The American Broadcasting Company has just brought you the third of a new series, Pat Novak for Hire, starring Jack Webb. Jocko Madigan is played by Jack Lewis. Inspector Hellman is played by Raymond Burr. Music was composed and conducted by Basim Ablum.
This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.